Light flicker, shadows fall. Hawxy screaming down the hall. Shieldz got fire in his veins. Calls it out, no time for games. Mark out of 10, he's tearing it down. Mark out of 10, no room for clowns. A-W shite program will say. Mark out of 10, not backing away.
Welcome everyone to Mark Out of 10, the wrestling podcast where opinions mean everything and nothing. That really distracted me, and nothing at the same time. We've just finished the party of the summer, SummerSlam 2025. We're going to talk through our opinions on the good, the bad, and the ugly, and there was bits of everything. And there was not only that, but we're doing our top 10 underrated stars in wrestling, the superstars without the super, but unfairly so. But first up, I am the Mark Shieldz, and my co-host, the man who's been pile-driven more times than Sunny in a hotel hallway, the housewife's favourite heel, Hawxy. How are you doing, Hawxy?
Very well. Poor Sunny. Bless her. Bless her cottons. I'm really good, mate. I'm really good. Absolutely full to the brim with wrestling this week. We've had a good week.
Yes.
We've been involved, mate. We've got right into it, and it's been fun. Obviously, hot on the heels of a really polarizing SummerSlam 2025. But something which I very much enjoyed watching. And I'm looking forward to tonight. Looking forward to sort of decompressing a little bit of it, have a bit of a review, a bit of a chat, have a bit of a... I guarantee we're going to have a little bit of a discussion about it.
Yeah.
But it's I'm looking forward to it. And this list as well, we were talking before we sort of press record, and I said I basically today I had 12 names down. So I basically had to get rid of like one with an honourable mention kind of thing. And as I was messing around earlier on, going through the list to try and take some stuff off, I thought of 3 more. So I had to scramble to try and sort this list out. So I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good fun. It'll be good fun.
Absolutely. We have had a full-on week, like you said. And I just want to take this time to sort of shout out to everybody that came along to our Twitch stream. So we are live on Twitch. We did twitch.tv/Mark Out of 10. Thank you to everybody that came along and watched with us, apart from the asshole in the last like 10 minutes of the second night who came on and spoiled it, which was unbelievable. We had got through 7 hours of SummerSlam.
Genuinely, it was probably the last 5 minutes, to be fair. Absolute fucking dick. Come in and basically said like, Brock Lesnar returns, and then just didn't say anything else. Just fucked off.
Yeah, that was it.
About 2 minutes before he returned, I was like, "You fucking twat." But
pretty much.
Yeah, but like I said, we done well. We done really well.
We did. So if you want to watch some wrestling with me and Hawxy, like we and Hawxy watch these shows anyway, right? We'd watch them together, watched them offline. We said, "Do you want to know something? Fuck it. Let's go and stream it. Let's stream our reactions, and we can actually have a good conversation with the Mark Out of 10 listeners, right? If they want to come along." And it was really, really good. It was really good, interesting to see how everybody thinks about the current product as well.
Do you know what I really loved out of those 2 days? Obviously, it was amazing, like you mean, chatting with people who we don't know, people who we know, whatever. But there was a guy who hasn't really watched wrestling for a very long time, and he came in to the chat. We talked about shoulders. We came into the chat, and then was like, it was almost like he was reignited after watching the Punk and Gunther match, which is really cool. Like that is just an amazing thing to happen. If you know what I mean, like I come in and let's check this out. These lads, we'll see what they're doing or whatever. And then he was on the Discord afterwards. He was like, "What other matches would you recommend for Gunther? He's fucking amazing like that." And he's like, he came and joined in the second night and sort of got involved. It was really cool. I loved that. Yeah, that was a highlight of the streams, just to get people who don't usually get involved in stuff involved. It was fun, really fun. Yeah,
and there are going to be more of it. So any sort of the big pay-per-views we're definitely going to watch. I think we'll go and watch the TNA upcoming pay-per-view because it's the Hardy Boys versus Dudley Boys in a tables match. It is a tables match, isn't it?
I think so, yes. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. That's probably going to be the end of both that career, which is those... Fuck's sake, can't even speak tonight. It's going to be a tough evening if I can't speak. But yeah, we're also going to watch some older school stuff as well. So we watched SummerSlam 1995 recently. Fucking Unbelievable. So yeah, we put a poll out to the Market of 10 audience. Absolutely perfect on our Discord. Again, if you come onto our Twitch channel, we'll promote the Discord. In fact, we'll put it on all our socials. Okay, so let's do the socials just now while I remember. You can follow us at Mark_out of 10 on Twitter or X or whatever you call it. Mark out of 10 on TikTok and on YouTube, and Mark out of 10 podcast on Instagram. You could also email us at wrestlemark10@gmail.com or visit our website www.moo10.com, where you can leave comments, you can leave reviews, you can also leave voicemails to us. And we're actually in the middle of the show. We're going to play a few of the voicemails that have came through. So you're going to enjoy that.
It's going to be fun. It'll be real.
Get involved in the Discord, basically. That's the entire point of that. So, yeah. Let's go through it. So we're going to review it. We're going to go old school Mark out of 10 here, okay? We're going to talk about night one before the list. We're going to do half of our list in between the lists, like 1 to... honest to God, I'm struggling tonight. 10 to 6. We'll do a break and then do night 2, then the rest. I've been to the gym tonight. I'm an old fucking man. It's ridiculous.
What did you do?
We did a deload session, but even that just about fucking killed me, man. It was just ridiculous.
Deload sounds dirty. What was that? What was that involving?
On your face. It was essentially leg day again, because my knees are fucked. So, we just did deload. So we did squats, we did lunging, we did fucking curls and extensions. It was just horrible.
What did you do before the extensions? What did you do?
Curls. My legs were like a curly whirly Hawxy. Tell you what I'm going to do though is
curly whirly squirrely.
Vitalized. I'm going to get a can of Iron Brew because I'm Scottish. So go and fuck yourself.
Roll Tide. Let's go.
Hashtag not sponsored, mate. But if you want to sponsor
SummerSlam, SummerSlam night one. What the fuck are you saying?
I said before we started watching it that SummerSlam would need to knock out the park in order to justify being on 2 nights. And I was worried with night one because night one wasn't great. But I don't know if that, in hindsight, I don't know if that's because we're comparing it to the previous pay-per-views that have been so good from WWE. But I don't know, it just felt a bit stagnant. Just everything just seemed, until like the last 2 matches maybe, everything just seemed a bit lethargic. I think that's the best way to describe it. What about you? What say you?
Yeah, I agree. Especially, like, I sort of like, we were going through it as we were going through the night, and obviously we'd done some predictions and stuff, and the guys who come and watched, who were in the Discord as well, done their predictions, so it was sort of keeping things a little bit moving and having a bit of conversation and stuff. But if we go through the card, obviously the opening match of the night, I can kind of see why they've done this, because they wanted to start this off like hot with some big talents, if you know what I mean. Because the biddle mitt was a bit rough, but Roman Reigns and Jay defeated Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed in tag match, 21 minutes and 10 seconds. It was every bit of it. There was some fucking brutal spots in this match, though, wasn't there? I'm surprised Roman Reigns can fucking walk after that suicide dive thing he did, where he just like absolutely
aptly named, fucking crazy,
fucking overshot them by a good foot. But fair play. But it done what it needed to do. I was surprised with the finish. I'll be honest with you, but it's Roman. You know what I mean? I was kind of surprised with it, but sort of opened the show with the babies in the air and all that sort of stuff. But it was a good match. They worked hard. I see there's some good spots in there. It kept a few of the guys strong. It was all right. It was all right.
I'm going to say something though. For me, Jey Uso was supposed to be the tag team specialist out of the 4 of those guys.
Yeah,
and he was the weakest out of the 4.
Yeah,
like, even Big Bronson Reed did what he had to do. Solid enough. He was fine. Jey Uso, I just don't get it. I just don't understand why he's in such a prominent position. Now I do, because he gets the pop with the yeet shit, right?
Yeah.
But he is so out of his depth when it comes to Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker. Maybe not Bronson, but with those two, Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker, you take out Jay and Bronson Reed, that match would have been a perfect opener because it's fucking sick. But that's a main event WrestleMania. We said on the stream, right, for like the next like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
That's a main event level match.
Yeah.
But Jey Uso, man, I think he needs to go away for a bit
Um,
and never
Yeah.
come back.
yeah, well, I was gonna be really bad and say that, but I spoke about this a lot on the podcast before. He's awkward. I do not get it. He's not over. The yeet is, the gimmick is. I don't know. People say, "Oh, well, that's the whole point." It's like, no, it's not. It's one of those things where it'll run out quickly.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like he's going to have it's sort of 15 minutes in the grand scheme of things, and then it's going to fizzle out, and it's not going to be where it needs to be. He's got massive go away heat with me, huge go away heat. So yeah, it's just it was a bit naff, but there we go. Next up was the women's tag, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. I'm doing you in the fucking videos.
That's crazy,
the
right?
WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. So Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, they actually beat Raquel and Roxanne.
They did.
I mean, they're two legends, aren't they? They're over as fuck. Like, they're the veterans. I was surprised because I really like Raquel and Roxanne. I think they work really well together. But we had a chat, didn't we, when we were watching it? Raquel shouldn't be in a tag team anymore. She's really good, and she's really, really improved, I think, over the last couple of months.
The question I had for you though is in the
Yeah.
women's main event level, where does she fit in?
Well,
You
I answered that with, if Nia Jax can be anywhere near it, then she can be there. So,
But you know, it's like, I mean, the only way I can see her in the main event would be WWE Women's Championship. I don't see her in the World Heavyweight fight because that's just too strong. When you think
Yeah.
of Rhea, you think of Io, you think of Naomi, which we'll talk about in night 2.
she should be squashing Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, 100%.
She could be in that mix with those guys. I really rate her. Like I said, I after that sort of, for the want of a better term, breakout match that she had with Rhea, the big, like, the street fight thing, like, it sort of clicked. It's a little bit like what happened with Liv.
Yeah.
You know, like it just, all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, she's fucking amazing. I think for me, it's the same with Raquel. Like, she's really good. She's really good. I think it's clicked for her. So yeah, I thought it was a good match. It was solid. It was decent. They had some fun with it. It was nice to see. Like, we said, didn't we? Like, it was like the old, you know, we've got two people that we haven't got anything to do with. Let's put them together in a tag team and let them win the belts. And it's like, it shouldn't work, but it does, kind of thing. Like, it's fun. It's really fun. So, and it was good to see. Good to see him on the card. Go on.
What's really nice is seeing Charlotte Flair getting cheered for a little bit because she is so good and she is so head and shoulders above a lot of the women on the roster. The fact that she gets a bit of a pop is nice for her, I think.
Yeah.
So, and you know, I think it does work with Charlotte and Alexa because they both have very similar personalities. Like, obviously, the goddess Alexa and the queen Charlotte. It works, which is nice. Roxanne Perez looks fucking tiny. Even in comparison to Alexa, she just looks so small. But
yeah,
what I said again on...
Go on.
I was saying, the best thing about her, though, is she does the fucking Rey Mysterio run the ropes.
I was just about to say that. It's weird. She's tiny, but I think she sort of leans into it a little bit. It's not like, I mean, some of the other tiny women or the tiny guys who they try to work like they're fucking Randy Orton or whatever. Like, she sort of leans into it a little bit chicken shitty, a little bit sort of using her size as maybe a bit of an advantage. I rate her. I think she's good. She's a bit green, but she'll get there. She'll definitely 100%. Get there. It was fun. Like I said, I'm not shitting on it. By no means is it like one of the best women's tag matches ever or anything like that. But it was absolutely fine on that card.
Did what I had to do, right?
Yeah, definitely. What's up next? Oh yeah, I was going to say what's up next. I fucking forgot about it. Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. What has Karrion got to do, mate? What does he have to do?
Well, if rumor has it, as of today, like he's apparently him and Scarlett's contract's up by at the end of this week. So
He's obviously out there, then, isn't he? You would
where
think.
do you see him going though? TNA would be a great
TNA?
shout because I hope he goes to TNA.
I would almost like to see him in Japan as well.
Yeah,
I think the way that they're struggling right now for stars in New Japan, him and Charlotte could go there and he could be a bit of a monster gaijin and make a lot of money
yeah.
and do some business over there. I think they're crying out for somebody like him. He's toned himself up. He's changed his look. He cut the shoot promo, didn't he? After the was it Mania?
Yeah.
Tried to it was almost going into business for himself, if you know what I mean, like trying to get himself over. That's cool. That's a good thing. Like he'd done all that stuff, and they're still just, I don't know. There must be something wrong. Not wrong, but there must be. I mean, there must be something there that isn't clicking for him.
I like to think that there's a bigger plan for him, but it's like because he's like you say, he's got everything. He's got the look. He's got. Is it the fact that he doesn't like taking a bump? You know, it's the only thing I can really think of because he's got the fucking manager. I mean, you'd watch Scarlett every day and fucking twice on Sundays, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like she's unbelievable. He's so good. It's like you say, he's done all the stuff he had to do. He went out and for business for himself, but he's got over with the fans. He's nailing social media. He's doing everything that the 2025 WWE superstar they want them to do. So I don't know what else he needs. I think maybe TNA would be good. So they still got the TNA, obviously WWE partnership. They'll still get the WWE production.
Yeah.
Maybe he just needs to go and reset there. I don't know.
Go and learn a new hold, maybe. I don't know.
Sami Zayn just needs to go away as well.
But
I missed the boat with Sammy Big Style.
I'm bored. I'm bored of Sammy. I just he's too. It's just boring. I find him really boring. Very vanilla.
Yeah.
So
okay, let's not waste time on this next match.
Tiff and Jade. Shit, wasn't it? It was poor, wasn't it? It was really poor. The fact that they haven't pulled the trigger on Jade there is really interesting. I don't really understand the Tiffany Stratton thing.
No.
Like I said, we saw her before, and she came into it was Elimination Chamber, wasn't it, in Australia?
2 years ago. Yep.
Yeah. And we were like, oh my God, she's really fucking good. And she's trying hard and this, that, and the other. But we said it when she lost to Charlotte. When she beat Charlotte at WrestleMania as well. It's like, holy shit. I saw a clip from that Unreal documentary where Charlotte says, like, oh, like, I'd done this thing, like somebody done it for me one day, and hopefully this kickstarts a sort of career and this, that, and the other. But she was sort of saying it behind like gritted teeth, which is quite funny. Yeah. For me, it was a bit of a nothing match. Jade should be just murdering everyone. She's an absolute superstar. I know she's green, but put her in there with somebody who can lead her through a match. Because them pair, you know what I mean?
It was never going to work.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the Tiffany Stratton point, like you say, we saw her at Elimination Chamber in Australia, and she's like maintained that level. She's not got any better, and she was great in the sort of gimmick match where it was like multi-women in there, which is great because they can hide a multitude of sins, right? But on a one-on-one match, there's just something missing.
Yes.
And I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. She's got the athletic ability, right? She's good. Oh, okay. What's this?
So I was gonna say. So I think she's too trained.
Okay.
Like she wasn't on the indies. As far as I'm aware, Tiffany Stratton was not on the indies. She was probably a fucking volleyball player or something, and she's come in and...
I think she was an American gymnast.
So she was a gymnast. There you go. So she knows fuck all about nothing when it comes to wrestling. They've brought her into NXT. or the performance center, and they just said, right, you do this. So she's obviously very coachable because she was a gymnast, and if she was high level gymnast, then she's going to be coachable, which is a great thing. But it's like you have to do it in a certain way. You can tell by the way she runs the ropes. She runs the ropes like every single person that's come out of the performance center, like that just weird, like little Jimmy they do when they put their hand on one rope and their elbow over the other, and it's like and it looks shit, and it's really really annoying. She's too like, I don't want to use the word perfect, but it's too trained. Yes, it's like some of the stuff that she does, it's like, oh, that's really good, but there's just nothing else there at all.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about Jade for a little bit now. Jade looks like a superstar, and I understand why they didn't pull the trigger on her, because she's not great in the ring. She's another one that hasn't really got better since she came from AEW. It's maintained that level, and I think
she's better than she was in AEW. She is.
Really?
Yeah,
I can't know, man.
I can't have that. I won't let that go.
Okay, if she has got better, I think every other woman, I mean, Raquel Rodriguez is a prime example, right?
Yeah.
She's got exponentially better.
Yes.
Jade hasn't. She's just a little bit less shit than she was.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
I think that's why they're not, because if I was the booker, I wouldn't have put her over, because she just looks really awkward and clunky. She's got a phenomenal look. She's got a phenomenal entrance. She ticks all the boxes in terms of what you want for a women's champion. And see, if this was 10, 15 years ago, absolutely, she would have been pushed to the moon. But it's not 10 or 15 years ago. It's a totally different women's division, and she just doesn't fit what they're looking for in the women's division.
So,
come at me, bro.
Goldberg, Ultimate Warrior,
Different
the Big Show
Hawxy.
at one time. I know it's a different generation, but it's still wrestling, like, to a certain degree. I would rather have her than Naomi.
We'll talk about that night too.
I know the points you're going to make, but I still one piece of shit and a massive mound of piece of shit doesn't make a difference. A little a piece of shit with massive piece of shit. But go on.
But Jade hasn't had that moment where she's not been a piece of shit. That's the difference.
I don't think she's a massive piece of shit. I think she's just not as. I just think she's a medium piece of shit. But she looks like a superstar, and
absolutely, this
is professional wrestling, right? You can have more sizzle than steak sometimes. For me, she is more than enough to be able to go in the ring. She's better than like fucking. I'm trying to think who like recent. I think she's better in the ring than Alexa Bliss, in terms of her like the way, in terms of the way she like. She's got a bit more like fire, and she's a bigger person, so she can be a bit of a beast. She's better than Nia Jax, for fuck's sake. And Nia Jax
is better than Nia Jax.
Exactly. That's like, this is the kind of point that I'm trying to make. Like, she's not a Rhea Ripley. She's not a Charlotte. She's not a fucking EO. Like, she's not like Bianca Belair. She's not necessarily that level of performer. But I think nowadays, when you look like that and you can get by in the ring and you look that good and you have that much aura about you, like, she could be that bitch. You know what I mean? Like, she's for me, I'd rather have her champ than Tiffany Stratton. On that side of the fence, you know what I mean? I would rather have her as a champ than Tiffany Stratton.
I mean, yeah, I probably agree with you there, but I reckon there's people that you would have in the championship. This is the first time we've argued in a long time about something. This is amazing. Like, to be fair, I wouldn't have any of them as the WWE Women's Champion. If you have like your EO, your fucking even Liv can be put in that bracket with Rhea,
yep, and
all that. Then you can have the other side of the fence where you have maybe the slightly smaller girl. You've got your Steph Vacker, you've got your Julia. Is Jade better or on par with Julia or Stephanie Vacker? No.
I think in terms of presentation, it's not all about bell to bell, is it? That's the thing.
Well, it is though. It is nowadays. I mean,
I
you
don't.
put
I don't
glitter on a
think
turd, it's still a turd. I mean, Jesus Christ.
it's more so now, but I don't think it's the be all end all. Because if it was all to do with bell to bell stuff, we'd be talking about fucking AEW because they do all the moves. But we're not. We're talking about everything as a presentation. There's more to it than just doing the moves and doing them really good. For me, I just like I said, I'm not saying Jade Cargill's better than Stephanie Baker. I'm not saying
That's
that for
exactly
one
what you
second.
said. Clip it, clip it.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I just think, like in terms of the whole presentation right now, this very moment in time, she's further along in that whole presentation than Stephanie Baker is. In 12 months' time, Stephanie Baker will have overtook her because they're going to push her to the moon because she's a fucking superstar. But right now, she's just a little bit behind that Jade Cargill because she's been in featured stuff more. She's been on TV more. She's had cool entrances. She's, you know what I mean. She's got that look and that presentation. She's had featured matches more than Stephanie Baker.
Do you not think she just needs more reps? I think the time that she took off when they won the tag team belts has actually hurt her a little bit.
Detrimental.
I reckon she needs to be.
But she was training up with Natty in the dungeon, weren't she? So she was up there. Yeah. If you can't learn some stuff up there, then you ain't going to learn some stuff at all. But I think she's got better. Like I said, I'm not for one second saying that she should be beating everybody and have the belt forever. Just that night, I would have rather had her go over than fucking Tiffany.
Well, you heard it here first, Mark out of 10 audience. Hawxy thinks that Jade Cargill should go on a fucking Goldberg run, destroy everybody, be champion for 1,000,000 years, and that's what it is. Okay, moving on to the next match then, Hawxy boy.
This was the tag. So it was Drew and Logan against Randy Orton and Jelly Roll. Now, we were talking about this, weren't we, before the show, like a couple of days leading up to it and stuff. And I was, of all the matches sort of on this night, that was one of the matches that I was really looking forward to. And to me, it didn't disappoint. It done exactly what it needed to do. It was almost probably to the move how I probably would have booked it if I was agent in the match as well, because it was brilliant. And that fucking Logan Paul splash onto Jelly Roll through the table, holy shit! What a fucking spot! Little motherfucker dead. Has anything come out of it after that? Actually, by the way, have they like did he crack ribs or any fucking
no? I Jelly Roll did the like sort of the post like Pat McAfee type event thing,
like post show
Pat McAfee.
Thing.
Yeah, and he seemed fine. He said he got really emotional and he was like, "This was one of the best times of my life." Blah blah blah. And
yeah,
what I want to say, I thought it was a really great match, and this is when night one started to actually go quite hard. You know, business started to pick up. Yeah, exactly. When do you think? Because I've seen a lot on social media about Logan Paul. When is he going to start getting the sort of respect he deserves? Because he's good, man. He's so good.
He was really close to making it on my list, by the way, to being
really?
as an under. Yeah, genuinely. Like I was thinking, can I put him on here? Can I write him down in my notes? I don't know. I agree.
So you can justify it.
It's weird for me to say this, like for this guy. I genuinely think now he is a pro wrestler now.
Yeah.
Like I know he was a YouTube guy and he's done photography and he's a podcaster and he's done a bit of this, a bit of that. 100% Logan Paul right now in this moment in time is a professional wrestler. And he's one of the better professional wrestlers in the world right now. Even taking away his big crazy spot, he's really fucking good. He gets it. Properly gets it. I mean, he's got natural fucking I hate you face, like, which is absolutely fine. So like he's helped halfway to being a heel anyway. But he fucking gets it. And you can tell that he spent time learning it and picking people's brains and asking questions and getting involved. I saw a clip of him on like YouTube Shorts yesterday or the day before. He was at one of the performance center places, and there's like a standing jump, like a standing leap, and he was like trying to beat Montez Ford's jump, and he was like getting absolutely wound up because he couldn't do it. Like, fair play.
He's
Fair
athletic
play
as
to
fuck, man.
He's trying. He's really trying, and he is. Randy Orton has always been known as the guy. Like, if he doesn't want to do anything, he ain't going to do it. He's like almost an old school guy. The way his thought process is, and that he's done business with Logan on a couple of occasions. You can tell Drew likes him and gets it with him as well. When you've got two lads like that who are like, you know what I mean, big stars, but like proper wrestlers, they don't stand for any shit. They're at that respect level. When you've got Logan Paul mixing up with them and they're putting him over and doing business with him, that's all it needs to say. The fact that Randy is even in the same conversation as Logan Paul genuinely says all it needs to say. Like, from like an inside wrestling perspective, it's crazy. It's crazy. He must be really, really over with the boys. He must be really over.
You
with
think
the
of
boys.
who's who he's wrestled. He wrestled Rey Mysterio and Dom when he was tagging with Miz.
Yeah.
He wrestled AJ Styles.
AJ Styles.
He wrestled Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
He's wrestled Randy. It's like it's the who's who, right, in terms of veteran superstars. And again, this match didn't disappoint. You know, they got their spots in. Jelly Roll was the celebrity, but he didn't embarrass himself. He didn't embarrass the business. He did his spots all right. You know, it is what it is. And for him to be the guy that took that fucking, you know, it's like, fuck that.
Unbelievable bump. Unbelievable bump. Yeah, class. I genuinely enjoyed it. Enjoyed it. Yeah, it was done exactly what it needed to do. Done exactly what it needed to do. Yeah.
I don't think you enjoyed it just as much as you enjoyed the next match, though, Hawxy.
No, fuck me. This was like 1A of like the matches that I was looking forward to this weekend. The fact that it main evented night one and sort of stood head and shoulders above everything as well on that night. CM Punk obviously beating Gunther with a little bit of afterbirth, but there we go. But this was half an hour, and for me, as a professional wrestling fan and as a CM Punk fan and as a Gunther fan, it was almost verging on pornographic for me. It was incredible match. Somebody came into the chat and they said like, "Oh, it's too slow," or Punk has got too slow now. In it, like, no. Take all of the matches prior to that on that night, and put this up against any one of them, and literally it's night and day. It's like another level of professional wrestling. It was fucking phenomenal. Punk understood the assignment. Gunther was right there with it. Each of those guys looked strong. Gunther looked like a badass. Punk fighting from underneath was so good. Like, it was in Punk's chest. I dread to think what he felt like the morning after. Holy shit. But it was just the pacing, the selling, like the high spots. Like I said, Punk fighting from underneath. Gunther, like, he's had that really cool sort of out finish to, like, obviously with the tapping out thing at Mania. It was like the first time he's done it. You had, obviously with this one, he got colour. So it's the first time he got colour and he didn't know what to do. And it was all like a bit like, that was like the out for the finish of the match. It was just, oh my God, poetry. Pure poetry. Cinema. Quality. Loved it.
The best bit about that match was they were in the ring for about 28 minutes of the match. They didn't leave the ring once until they had to do that spot where Gunther got colour.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. And going back to your point about someone coming and saying that CM Punk's too slow, that opinion comes from every other wrestling promotion. I'm not just blaming AEW, but every other wrestling promotion is 100 miles an hour. It's all about moves. How many moves can you get in bell to bell within your 6 minutes, right? It's not about that, right?
Nobody sells anymore. No one sells anymore. Yeah.
You know?
And the selling in this was, they didn't take a bump for the first 3 minutes. Yeah. 3-4 minutes there wasn't a bump. It was proper, it was just laying the foundations for that. We call it the 3-act structure or whatever. I like to sort of break it down. It's like a film. A wrestling match, an amazing wrestling match is like a film. You have those acts, and you have the separation of those acts. It was fucking anyone who's learning to be a professional wrestler needs to watch this match as like homework and study it and try and understand what they're doing. It's not like, oh, this is really good because they are doing this. It's why are they doing that? The why is the important part. It was fucking so good. I think I know we were watching it on stream, and I was just making noises every so often. Like I was just like, oh, like I just in awe of it as a yeah. I just like I when I get chance this week, I'm going to go and watch it again and sort of like take it in silence almost and just watch it and enjoy it again because it was brilliant. Yes,
And then
I'll give it to you for the afterbirth.
and then you said there's a bit of afterbirth. Obviously, CM Punk won against Gunther. He won the World Heavyweight Championship. He achieved the dream that he had when he came back. Well, Mr. Money in the Bank came out. Mr. Seth Rollins came out with his crutches. Music was going. The crowd popped. The crowd did pop. And then he was saying he was going to. You've got to be careful. You've got to watch your back. Blah blah blah. I turned around, dropped his crutches, cashed in the Money in the Bank, and won the World Heavyweight Championships. And at that point, Hawxy, you were silent.
Yeah, in another way, in a different way. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I know this is all. It's all going to lead up to something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. It's going to be probably WrestleMania. Probably it's going to go somewhere, and I get it. Sort of Seth is like, you know what I mean. He sort of waited his turn with it a little bit. It will be a money match, and it'll be a personal thing. I just need it. They need to make it personal.
Yeah,
Seth's a weird one for me because when he's good, like he is really good. You know what I mean? Like I am not 1 second saying that Seth Rollins is bad as a bad wrestler or a bad pro wrestler or sports entertainer or whatever fucking you want to call it. But I don't think he's very good on the mic. His fucking whiny voice annoys the living shit out of me when he's pretending to be a professional wrestler. Because he isn't Seth freaking Rollins. He's not the fucking Monday Night Messiah. He's not that cunt. Like, he just be you. Tell us why this is a bad thing. Why don't you like me? Why don't you like CM? But you know what I mean? Like, tell me why you are doing this. Don't be like, well, I'm going to do this. And he was really horrible to me. And like, just, no. What did he do? Be real. Be real. And I would like that. I would really, really like that. Just don't be that twat, Rollins. Be Seth. Be that guy, please. And I'll be in for it. I'll be in for it. Because Punk's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
He ain't going to do anything wrong. He ain't going to offend anybody. Like, wrestling wise, I mean, I know Punk will need to sort of feed off some stuff because he'll just absolutely eviscerate Rollins, and he needs to keep him strong to make it feel as though he's beating somebody, not just because the guy come and cashed in on him. Like he needs, you need that, the yin and yang thing, don't you? Like Punk needs that. He needs something to work from. So if Rollins doesn't bring that, it's going to be shit. And it'll make the whole thing shit. It won't just be Rollins being shit. It'll just make the whole thing shit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see where they're going. The turn thing, they come out, say something, then turn back. He's not going to come out and cash in, or not cash in. You know what I mean? He's not going to take that moment away from Punk without coming out and cashing in.
Yeah,
it was so fucking. I saw a really funny GIF. I saw a clip of it yesterday. And do you know the WCW thing with Kevin Nash and when he had the wheelchair and the big legs, like the fake legs sticking out with a cast on it, and he just put it was that fucking stupid. It was almost like that level of stupidity, if you know what I mean. It was just. I think I said at the time, I was like, "There's no way he's going to come out here and not cash in." It was just a bit silly. It was like a swerve for a swerve's sake.
Swerve, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, like you said, people pop for it. I think people pop for the occasion, not necessarily who, or it's just what's happening, if you know what I mean. But yeah, like it was a phenomenal main event, really, really good match. And then it's sort of like a bit of a damp squib for me, if you know what I mean, how they did it. But they've done it, and hopefully it'll just move to really, really good things now. We shall see.
Absolutely.
We shall see.
And that's night one.
Yes.
We'll talk about night two in a little
We
bit.
spent more
but-
time talking about Jade and Tiffany than we still spent talking about Punk and fucking Gunther.
mentally. But again, go and watch that match. The match
dear.
speaks for itself. You see what I did there? That's quite good.
Whee.
Hey, there we go. Okay, so what we're going to do now is go back to our roots. We're going to go to the list. Top 10 list of most underrated superstars ever. Any thoughts on how you went about this, Hawxy? How did you go about this?
So it was really, really difficult to sort of. There's a big difference. What I want people here as well to sort of understand. There's a big difference between underrated and like underutilized, and sometimes those things potentially could like sort of blob into one, if you know what I mean. So what I've done is I've tried to take away like, not people say, oh fucking Dolph Ziggler, like he's not underrated because he's really, really fucking amazingly well and good, and everyone sort of knows that, and they talk about that person in that kind of conversation. But for me, he's underutilized because he is so good. He just never had the chance, and he never had that opportunity to be rated, if you know what I mean. So there's a bit of a difference. So I've really, really tried to stick to the underrated aspect of it.
Okay, interesting.
Does that make
It does.
sense? Yeah, that was a bit of verbal diarrhea then. Yeah,
No, it makes sense to me. What I will say, Dolph will appear on my list because I've went. I've met a mixture of underrated and underutilized, and there's a mixture.
Okay.
That's the way I just thought about it. Because one man's underrated as one man's underutilized. So it's all about justification.
Justification is everything, guys. Justification
100%.
is everything.
So yeah, we'll talk about that as we go on. So, okay. Let's get cracked straight into it then, as Pistilli used to say. Hawxy, do you want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay,
So
you're
my number 10 is Jay Lethal.
Okay.
He popped in there as one of the first names on the list that when I started making it last week or whatever it was, and I was like, yeah, because he's one of those guys who, when he has had an opportunity, he hasn't not made the most of it. That's not the point I'm trying to make at all. He hasn't been valued. Like he hasn't been those guys. And if you have a conversation about maybe the last 20 years of wrestling, this is a name that will not pop into many people's lists.
Yeah.
Like as like, oh my God, this guy is amazing. Like everywhere he goes, everyone he wrestles, he will have a really, really good to great professional wrestling match with them. Like Ring of Honor champ, like Ring of Honor TV champ. Like he was one of their top guys for a long time. Like TNA, obviously I know he fell into that sort of comedy gimmick thing, you know, with the Macho Man stuff, and then obviously the Flair woo off and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, he got him on telly, and he's talked about, and he's probably talked about now, but not for the right reasons. Like he's so good. He is so good. When he got signed for AEW 2 years or whenever 2 years ago, whenever it was, I was like, this is it. It's finally going to happen for him. Like he's going to be like in the tippy top of the card. He's going to have opportunity to wrestle like some of the best wrestlers in the world. He's going to go for a world title. Like he's going to have all this stuff. And once again, what happened? Fuck all. How the WWE haven't got this guy on the books or had him on the books like at NXT, like you mean, and really saw what he can do, because he's great. And everybody you speak about, or everyone who speaks about him on like interviews or podcasts or whatever, they will always say, fucking hell, yeah, Jay Lethal's really good. Like, oh my God, Jay Lethal's amazing. Jay Lethal taught me how to do this. Jay Lethal brought me in. Like, I know this is not a good litmus test to use, but I think Mercedes Moné, I think she was trained by him at one point or whatever. Like, this guy is trained a lot of guys who are like big names on the like indies or signed players now. He was one of the first people that popped on my list. He's a really, really good talent, and he is massively underrated in my opinion. He really is. He should be on a rated list, if you know what I mean. Like he should be in a
Yeah.
top 50 somewhere, not no one speaks about him anymore.
That's a great shout. Jay Liesel's not on my list, but do I know something? You said something there. People just forget about him. I forgot about him,
Yes,
and it's so
and that's
sad.
and that's bad because
Absolutely, 100%.
he's really fucking good.
He is really good.
Yeah,
Okay, it's a great start. Absolutely,
I had
perfect.
the opportunity to I'd say travel with him. Like he was on a show that I was doing when I was training, and I picked him up from the airport and all that. This is not why he's on my list, by the way, but I had some time with him, and just the way he spoke and like the advice he gave and all that sort of stuff. The match he had on that show was fucking phenomenal as well. Like he was just a really, really good talent, and at that time, I said he should have been signed by one of the big guys. Like he should have been a player. He really should have. He really should have. Is he still signed? I should have checked this out. Is he still wrestling for AW right now? Oh my god! See, like his fucking Wikipedia is like the bit on the side of the bar is like that big. Like he's been around forever. He's done everything. It's crazy. Yeah, I think he's still signed. So why are they not doing stuff with this guy? It's crazy. Sorry. Yeah.
No, that's absolutely fine. Okay, Hawxy, your number 10 was great, good start. I think my list is going to be very, very different to yours. It's going to be an interesting conversation piece. Okay, my number 10, I'm going for one of the probably the most underappreciated badass in WWF ever. He didn't have a catchphrase, didn't really need one, wasn't a really flashy gimmick, but he made you like believe he could just beat the shit out of anybody
I know
in the locker
exactly
room.
who you're going to say.
Steve Blackman.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you watch WWF, WB in the late 90s, early 2000s, you'll remember Blackman as being like the mainstay of the hardcore division. You know, he had his martial arts entrance. He'd done his fucking like punches as his entrance music. He had the kendo sticks, but he was more than that. Yeah, he was a legit badass. You know, he had black belts up the yazoo. He did have a real kendo stick fighting background as well. He had that like cold stare when he walked to the ring. It was just so fucking intense. It was mental, and it wasn't an act. You didn't want to mess with him. There's a really famous story about a flight that they were taking, and JBL talks about this as well. Like JBL was being an absolute cunt in the airplane, and they were waiting for their bags, and he was like pushing Blackman, and he told him, "Don't push me again." And JBL pushed him again, and Blackman turned and hit him about 13 times in like 4 seconds or something. It was ridiculous. It's like legit badass. He can move as well. It's like you forget how athletic he was. It's like the kicks he did, the strikes were legitimately fast. He was one of the big guys that could do like a standing backflip. It was just he was doing that before it was like a common thing. He was so far ahead of his time. Like, so far ahead of his time. If WWE never ever gave him a big push, he was in line for it. I only found this out recently, and when he did these podcasts with Chris Van Vliet, he was in line for a big push in the late 80s, but he did a show abroad, and he legitimately almost died.
He got malaria? Yeah,
it was malaria.
Yeah.
He almost died,
Yeah.
and obviously the push never came. He got stuck in the hardcore division, but the hardcore division was like the comedy spot, right? Like Crash Holly. That's what I always think of. He was never booked to be a serious threat.
Have you ever seen him back when in that late 90s? Have you ever seen how big he was?
Yeah, he was huge. It's unreal, man. But it's like it's a real shame that he was never pushed to the level where he was seen as a threat. Because could you imagine him today, right? If you think about MMA and stuff, like having that
UFC crossover would be mental, wouldn't it?
He'd be an absolute monster.
I bet he could probably come back now. Bit of just for men 100%. In his hair. He probably looks fucking.
Definitely.
He probably looks bigger than Adam Cole right now, anyway. So it's fucking crazy.
Like they talk about him having no charisma as well, but that's strictly not true because he got paired up with Al Snow, and then the comedy side of it worked. So the charisma was there, but it wasn't. charisma as we expected it at that time. It's a shame because he didn't have that like sort of breakout feud. He didn't have the push that he deserved. Yeah, you just believed him though. He could kick his ass. So yeah, totally underappreciated. Would be an absolute monster nowadays. Number 10.
It's a great shout, mate. When you were bigging him up at the start, I was like, he's going to say Steve Blackman. That's fucking brilliant. And the spot with Shane, like Shane will get. There's not many people like we'll do it because we smarter wrestling fans or whatever, but like that spot will always get shown. It's like, oh my god, fucking Shane followed later, but who hit him? People will be like, oh, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's really brutal. So he wasn't there very long, was he? Maybe like 3 or 4 years or something like that.
No, he was there pretty much all through the 90s and into the early 2000s.
Let's have a look. Fucking up. Steve Blackman. He's an American martial arts instructor, apparently.
There you go. 97 to 2002 he was in WWF.
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, to be fair, only 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
So yeah, Steve Blackman, man number 10 for underappreciated superstars.
Yeah, great show.
Okay, man number 9. Probably the most quietly influential wrestlers of the last 20, 25 years. He probably helped shape modern wrestling, rightly or wrongly, but he really doesn't get the credit. Amazing Red. Amazing Red from TNA. If you think about early TNA, Ring of Honor, like you think he's a pretty cool high flyer, right? He's great, but it's really not even half of it. It's like he invented a particular style that's the blueprint of indies and AEW, same thing really. Flips, counters, like anything you see from like your Will Ospreays, your Rey Fenix, your Ricochets. I think even early AJ Styles as well. It's like it all traces back to Amazing Red. Like we spoke about this at when we watched TNA as well. Mm-hmm. It was like we talked about the Code Red, and it's like that's another guy that doesn't get his flowers. Probably should.
Fucking Cena done it the other night.
Well, yeah, and speaking about the Code Red, that's used pretty much in every company. Like you say, Cena used it the other night. It's just, but he never comes up as like one of the goats. If you think about TNA, he never really comes up in that conversation, and I think it's because, again, similar to Blackman, he's probably too ahead of his time. He stopped working in TNA. He stopped working in TNA before it really got global. Mm-hmm. He was working in Ring of Honor before they started streaming it.
Yeah,
and then it was injuries. Again, you think about who speaks about him. Ospreay speaks about him now. Obviously, he's in AEW. You know our opinions of AEW, but we like Ospreay. Ospreay's very, very good. Yep. AJ Styles has came out and said that Red helped him like get better in the ring.
Yep.
The Young Bucks have said they model their style off him, rightly or wrongly. It's he never headlined a WrestleMania or everything, but I think in any high flying match you see, even in like the TLC match, there's bits of like Amazing Reds sprinkled
scattered in there.
Yeah. So yeah,
Genesis for the modern wrestling. It's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout. I'm not going to argue with it. Can't argue with it. I agree. Didn't think of Amazing Red. Probably a little bit like your Jay Lethal thing.
Yeah.
When you think about it, it's like, yeah, that's a really good shout.
And literally, it only came because like we talked about it on the TNA, and I was like, Amazing Red, that's a fucking great shout. And when we talked about underappreciated, it was still in my head. So yeah,
he had a bit of a resurgence recently, didn't he? Amazing Red. Did he do a couple of shows? Did he do a couple of shows in Japan? I think maybe, or in TNA or something. I know he'd done something very recently. House of Glory. It might have been GCW, potentially might have been GCW. But I know he's done something very, very recently, but I can't seem to see. He might have, I don't know. He's 43 years old still. Still only young.
Crazy, right?
He can go. But yeah,
he can.
Interesting. Interesting.
Okay, Hawxy boy, you're number 9.
My number 9 is It's time! It's time! It's better time! Massively underrated for me. Old Leon White. Big Van Vader. I think he was he was just in some of the wrong places at the wrong times, getting in his own way, I think.
Yeah.
He obviously Japan. He was an American footballer. Went to Japan, got given the big Van Vader gimmick. WCW, back in I'm having a look in now. Obviously, he was world champ for a bit. Everywhere he went, UWF, New Japan again, WWF, world champion, WWF champ, All Japan, Noah, fucking TNA. You know what I mean? Like he was sort of everywhere. He's one of those guys who, if you go back and sort of look at like really, like 97, you know what I mean, or whatever, like those years where things were starting to kick off. Like he's had matches with Taker, he had matches with Mankind, he had featured matches with Shawn Michaels. He was the champ at periods of time against really big names. And you look at those sort of names now, like Michaels, Taker, Cactus Jack, I mean, Mankind. Everyone speaks about them now. And I know they were around for a little bit longer after, and they maybe had a bit of a longer run, but he should be up there with those guys. He was a big guy who could do a moonsault, for fuck's sake, like for a start. He could go, like, do you know that we always joke Vince's airport test? Like, you mean someone walks through the airport and people stop and look? You can't say that wasn't Vader. You know what I mean? Like, he was an absolute badass, and he could go, and he was always in featured spots. Wherever he went, he was a featured talent, but nobody, like, sort of talks about him nowadays. I loved him when I was a kid. Like, I love him now. He's one of those, like, not a guilty pleasure thing, but like an underrated wrestler, like Sid for me. Like Sid's my boy. Like Vader's badass. Like I love watching him work. I love watching him squash people. I love watching him with people. People fire up, run off the ropes, come back, and he just goes like half bear hugs them, and they just go and just splat.
Yeah.
Like it's sick. Like he doesn't. Vader doesn't get his flowers. I mean, he went into the Hall of Fame in like 2022. Like a long time after he passed away. Like he should have been one of those ones that went in like the year he died, if you know what I mean, because he was he was a big deal, or a bigger deal than most. So yeah, number 9, Vader for me.
It's a great shout. I mean, yeah, I mean, the more you think about it, yeah, he probably is massively underappreciated. Like you say, he was huge wherever he went. Like the feuds that he had was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, good show. Not
So
going to
look at his fucking. Let's have a look at his accomplishments. So, like, 2-time Triple Crown heavyweight champion in All Japan, tag team champion, New Japan, IWGP heavyweight champion 3 times, tag team championship, fucking like Pro Wrestler of the Year 1993 for Pro Wrestling Illustrated. 93 was the number 2 of the top 500 single wrestlers in the world. 27 of the top 500 single wrestlers of the PWI years in 2003. GC tag team champion in Noah. Where's the WWE? So 3-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion, 1-time United States Champion. Fucking hell. It's crazy. Like he was
crazy he didn't win a belt in WWE or F.
I thought he was a champion in WWF for a bit, for one time. Maybe, I don't know. But like, he was everywhere, all the time. He was a top guy. So yeah, Vader. Big shout for Vader.
Good shout. Not going to argue with that, Hawxy boy. Okay, on to your number 8.
My number 8 is a guy we've had lots and lots and lots of conversations about on the podcast and off the podcast. It is Taz. We've had conversations before about like, just it was probably 2 years too late, maybe, that he went to the WWE to sort of get himself over. Maybe he got in his own way a little bit. I don't know. There's lots and lots of different stories and different sides to stuff, and somewhere in the middle will be the truth. But for that period of time, for those 3 years in that sort of mid-90s period, mid to late 90s, he was one of the best wrestlers in the world and one of the most badass wrestlers in the world in a punk rock company that was like huge. You know what I mean? That was doing really good stuff. He went to the WWE and it just didn't work. Like it was sad, really. And we said the other night, imagine what it would be like now. Imagine if he was around now. Imagine it. Just it would be crazy. And he went on commentary. I know we're not talking about like underrated commentators or whatever, but he even now on AEW when he's on it and he turns, he switches on, he's the best commentator. Like he's so good. He calls it like as a shoot. It's so good as that sort of color commentator. He's fucking phenomenal. In TNA, he was good. In WWE, he was really good. But like as a worker, I just think he's really underrated. He gets slept on a lot. Like I said, I think if he had like a better run, maybe a couple of years as a better run in WWE, he would be getting spoken about in very, very different terms. But for one period in time, Taz was the man. He really was the man, and he's massively underrated. Like because he's been so long as a commentator, I think people forget about him. You know what I mean? Being a wrestler and actually how good he was. Like that FTW sort of run and television run in that 97, 98. Fuck me. Put up against anyone. So good. It's Taz.
Interesting. We'll talk about Taz later.
There you go.
Okay. Moving on. My number 8. Now, if you talk about all-time greats in wrestling, right, you'll hear like your Flairs, your Bretts, Jericho, like recently Daniel Bryan, Shawn Michaels. But there's one name that is probably as technically gifted as all those guys, but he never ever gets the same amount of flowers as them. Dean Malenko.
That's a great shout.
Again, it's not about catchphrases. It's like Steve Blackman. It wasn't about catchphrases or the flashy gimmicks. He didn't need like 5-minute promos. It was just all business. It was the reason it was called the Iceman, right? There was no emotion. There was like no wasted moment. He was just cold, calculated, technical wrestling. He wasn't just good. He was fucking brilliant, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Absolute master, like chain wrestling. He would just outwork people.
Technical ability was just off the charts.
If you were a wrestler in the 90s, you studied Dean Malenko. If you're a wrestler starting out now, study Dean Malenko. Right?
Yes. Yes.
He's feuded with Eddie Guerrero in ECW and WCW.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Then he did cruiserweight matches with Ray, Ultimo Dragon, Jericho. Fucking brilliant. The 1,000 hole versus the 1,004 holes from Jericho. Genius, right? Just so smart, so funny.
Yep.
He's still working as an agent. He lays out, like a producer, he lays out all the matches. He didn't play the game. That's why he's so underappreciated. He didn't play the game. He wasn't flashy. He just went out there and wrestled because that's what he did.
He was a professional wrestler in an age of sports entertainment.
Yeah. That's it. Absolute genius, and should be renowned as one of the most gifted workers ever. But he falls by the wayside.
1997 is quite possibly the best year in wrestling.
Yeah, you say that
in I think in terms of modern day kind of wrestling, if you know what I mean, it's probably up there with when people were doing a lot of business, lots of people were watching it on the television. And I know we talk and we joke and we fucking take the piss about the Observer and all this, that, and the other nowadays, which we should do because Meltzer's absolutely lost his mind. But in 1997, when the Wrestling Observer was looked at as a sort of legit and genuine publication, he was the PWI 500 number 1. Now, just think about that for a second. Think about what was happening in 1997 in all of wrestling. ECW, WCW, WWF, New Japan was massive then. Like just those three, the American promotions, Stone Cold, Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan, fucking Macho Man, Goldberg. Take into account all of these, everyone, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Mankind. Think about all of that, and he made it to number 1. He beat the lot of them. That says a lot. I'm really, really annoyed that I haven't put Dean Malenko on my list. It's actually put me in a bit of a bad mood that you've. But we've managed to speak about him, so I'm
Exactly,
happy
that's
with
what I was
that.
about to say.
But yeah, that's a phenomenal shout. Yeah, well done.
Yep.
Well done.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
Well done,
that.
Shields. Pat on the back for that, mate.
See, I know a little bit about wrestling.
Yeah,
It's all
a
good.
little bit about a little bit.
Just a little bit about a little bit. Okay, my number 7 then is someone who's been pretty much everywhere, done everything, probably still doesn't get the respect he deserves. I'm very much not going WWE, by the way. I'm like all over the shop. Frankie Kazarian. I don't think
Wow.
you know, he's not flashy, doesn't have all the merch, but if you think about consistency, longevity, how athletic he was, how good his matches were, he was like the reliable guy of that era. You know what I mean? It's like he was a corner. When you think of TNA's X division, you always think automatically of like AJ, Samoa Joe, and Christopher Daniels. But Frankie and himself, he was a cornerstone in the X division. It was like redefining what wrestling was at that time, and he was properly involved there. Excellent performances night after night. And again, Christopher Daniels and him had one of probably the most unappreciated tag teams.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Bad Influence, and then it was in AEW, SCU. I mean, he was the first ever AEW tag team champion, SCU. He launched that division, then he just sort of disappeared. You know, he just sort of went by the wayside. But yeah, whether you think of TNA, you think of Ring of Honor, AEW, he was the sort of the solid veteran that he always delivered. Like, and yeah,
He's back in TNA now, isn't he? Right?
I think
he's
so,
back
yeah.
there. Yeah. That's a good
Yeah.
that's another good shout, mate. That's a really good shout. Yeah. He was always there, wasn't he? He was always in the pay-per-views, he was always in the multi-man matches, or he was always in a featured spot. Yeah. It's a great shout.
there you go.
Great shout.
Going left
What was
field,
your,
Hawxy boy.
What was your number 9 again, mate? Your number 9
My
was
number 9 was Amazing Red.
Amazing Red. That's it. Yeah. Of course it was.
It's very TNA. I'm looking at my list. It's quite TNA focused.
Interesting.
Okay, over to you, Hawksy. Number 7.
My number 7 is Big Boy, Bam Bam Bigelow. He's fuming. At least we get to speak about him, though, right? Big Scotty Bigelow, man. Crusher Yurkov. He was around for a long time, and he went everywhere and done absolutely everything. I think in that mid-90s period, maybe like 93 to like 96, 97, like everybody knew him because he was like he was a top featured guy in top featured spots on every bit of the card. He was always featured in a big spot. Obviously, WrestleMania with Lightning, with JT, with what's his fucking name? Oh my god, what is his name? Why am I having an absolute brain fart here? WrestleMania fucking MSG was, oh my god, it's gone. It's completely gone. But you know what I'm talking about, the American footballer. He wrestled him, didn't he? So I just think it's absolutely amazing. Lawrence Taylor, that's it, LT. I think it's amazing how they have put that much sort of faith in him to pull that through. I know the business was down a little bit maybe that period of time, but that was the guy they chose to go with, Lawrence Taylor, and make it work. And it did work. They done big business with that, really big business. I just, like I said, he doesn't get his flowers. I think if he maybe hadn't have died maybe so soon, I think he would have been a little bit more sort of spoken about. But he was a great worker. For a big guy to be able to work like that was amazing. He could talk in a period of time where they had some really good talkers. He was one of those guys who you would legitimately believed what he was saying. And I mean, it's out of, we talk about the look. When someone's going to tattoo flames on their head and come out with a full flame fucking bodysuit on and just, you know what I mean, run through people with no teeth in his face, like, he was a fucking badass. And I loved him. I fucking loved Bam Bam Bigelow. And I think even people now, like, you would see wrestling fans who maybe used to watch wrestling in the 90s or whatever would maybe look at a picture and be like, oh my God, like, who's that guy? What's his name? Like he's really underrated for me. I just think he's sort of forgotten in the annals of wrestling history, and he shouldn't be, because he was great. He was really good. And I think he was probably one of those guys as well in a period of time where not many people were sort of, they weren't really scared to tell Vince to, like, go fuck himself, and they'll just go away and go and wrestle somewhere else because there was loads of places to wrestle. I think if he had his head screwed on a little bit more and really, really stuck there and stayed there, he could have been there for like 10, 15 years, and people would be rating and raving about him. Imagine some of the stuff he would have done in that late 90s period with all the guys that were coming in. Bam Bam and, like, Mankind having a feud, and like a big, like a late 90s Undertaker and Bam Bam just having, it would have been great. It would have been really great. It's one of them. I love Bam Bam Bigelow. Massively underrated. So he's my number 7.
Fucking furious I am. Oh my God. We watched Taz versus Bam Bam Bigelow at Living Dangerously. Remember? We watched that
Yes.
a few months ago.
Yeah.
Such a good match for ECW. I can't believe he's on my list. Fuck my life.
Love Bam Bam. Once again, it's sort of my reaction to Dean Malenko and your reaction to Bam Bam now is like, that's why they're on this list, because we didn't think about them, if you know what I mean.
Bam Bam was on one of my lists that we've done in the back catalogue as well. I don't know, I can't remember what one it was, but I definitely we've mentioned Bam Bam on this podcast before.
Yeah.
Check out Mark Out of 10, like, on Spotify.
So yeah,
I'm raging now. I'm fucking fuming.
Right,
okay,
Bam
Hawxy,
Bam,
you're
man.
number 6.
Love Bam Bam. I'm looking at this now as I'm talking about the list. He maybe could be 1 or 2 places higher. But my number 6 is Shelton Benjamin.
Okay.
So if you think about that period of time, and that we talk about that class, that OVW class, if you think about that class that he came through in with Brock, with Randy. With Cena, like, all those guys, I think as a wrestler he's better than a lot of them.
They all say that as well, though, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, and he probably could have. He's probably one of the very few people in the world that could have wrapped Brock Lesnar up, or at least had a good go at it, because he was treble hard, by all accounts. I think he won more matches than Brock did, or something crazy in his amateur days or whatever. But I just think he sort of came around at a wrong time. If he was, like, maybe a little bit before, 2 years before or whatever, we'd be speaking about him in very, very different tones. I think he was a little bit unlucky at the period of time in the WWE with the colour of his skin. I'll be honest with you. I think it was a very different place then. But he's a great, great wrestler. He is a great performer. I know he got labelled with the fucking spot monkey gimmick, didn't he? Of, like, always coming on the Money in the Bank or taking a big fucking super kick from Shawn. He got sort of labelled with that, which was sort of to his detriment, I think, because he never really got a shot. I know he was IC champ a couple of times and this, that, and the other, but, like, he's so good. He is so good, and he never ever got. He doesn't. I mean, we're looking at him now. He stands out. Him and Bobby Lashley, MVP at AW, they stand out like a sore thumb now in terms of the difference of, like, levels. You know what I mean? There, like, they are head and shoulders above everybody in that company. When he was doing stuff with Ring of Honor with Charlie Haas, like the tag team, Charlie Haas is probably another. Yeah, he's probably another name that you could chuck on this. Just really, really, really good, but nobody speaks about them. And nobody speaks about Shelton. Like, like I said, out of that class, he was the best out of the lot of them, and nobody knows who he is. I mean, like, you mean in terms of the royal nobody, like no one knows Shelton Benjamin because he just didn't get a chance. He's better than everything he's ever done, and it's not like an underutilized thing. It's like he's way better than anyone like understands. It's sad, really. It's sad.
I'm going to ask you a question. I agree with you in terms of the colour of his skin was one of the main reasons. But do you think if he was the size he is now, do you think Vince would have pushed him regardless? Because he's fucking massive now.
I think he maybe looks a bit bigger now because he's not necessarily with all of the other guys who look massive next to him. Like, you know what I mean? Does that make? I think if you put him back in the WWE now and he's like standing next to like Damien and Roman and fucking Drew and Gunther and stuff, he would look big, but I don't think he would look as big as he is standing next to MJF or fucking like the Young Bucks or whatever. You know what I mean? So, but I mean, he hasn't aged a fucking day. Him and Lashley, they look the same now as they did back in the day, 15, 20 years ago. But it's crazy. Like he never really got a chance, really, and he never was going to get a chance because of who he came through with, and when he came through. But he should have, and we should be speaking about Shelton as a guy who had a good run at one point, and we don't. He's more than good enough to have had, if you know what I mean. So for me, he's underrated.
So apparently, the Hurt Business, though, they are getting some heat in AEW just now. MVP is telling creative that they're not losing to X, Y, and Z. So who knows? They might not be in TNA for in AEW for long. They might go back.
So he should do.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Like,
100%.
Look at them. Look at them there.
Stars, man.
They went there to get away from the shit that they were doing over in WWE at the time that they were doing it. They've had an opportunity to go and make some money. They could have done some real business there. They should be walking all over the place. And then they lose. Because that's what happens in professional wrestling. You don't bring these stars in, shit on them for fucking 6 months, and then make them look daft. It's crazy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't get me started on it. We'll go off on the tangent.
Okay, so we are down to my number 6 now. Now, this is someone that you spoke about, and you actually said this person is underappreciated, and I've stolen it because I want to. It's someone that's never fit the mold, and that's exactly why she should be celebrated more. That one dirty bitch, ODB.
ODB, yes. Fuck. Fuck!
If you think about women's wrestling, right, you always go to like a Trish Stratus, a Lita, even like Gail Kim, and obviously more recently the Four Horsewomen, right? But ODB was like the original one to break barriers, but in her own specific way. She was loud, she was fucking wild, she herself, right? She was just one dirty bitch. That's what it came down to. Wasn't a gimmick. She was a 4-time Knockouts champion, a Knockouts tag team champion, and she was probably a key face of the Knockouts division. And that was at a time where that was significantly better than what WWE were doing with their women, like head and shoulders above what they were doing. Yeah, she was something totally different, right? She wasn't the model that became a wrestler. She wasn't. She certainly wasn't a high flyer. She wasn't a technical purist. She was, you know what she was like? She was like the Stone Cold Steve Austin brawler of the women's division in TNA. You know, because she had her hip flask. She was just anything went. She had the personality. She had the presence. She could go as well. That's another thing that folk forget about ODB. She could go.
Yeah.
And I think she'd get slept on because she doesn't have that WWE image of what a women's wrestler should be. She didn't have like a Meltzer 7-star match in the Tokyo Dome, right? But she lay the foundations. Her and Gail Kim and like Awesome Kong, they lay the foundations for the Knockouts division in TNA, and that division, those foundations are still there. And yeah, she was never trying to be like one of the boys. She was just an ass kicker over all by herself. ODB, number 6.
It's a great show. When did we have that conversation? We Were we watching something or we were speaking about something? I can't remember.
I think we were watching TNA
Watching
again.
TNA.
It's that TNA pay-per-view.
Oh, dude.
There you go.
I loved ODB. Thought she was fucking great.
was awesome.
Another one that was a lot before her time, maybe.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I think nowadays she'd be, she'd be.
She
be
should
doing well.
have been in like the Nia Jax position.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
big girl that can actually wrestle. Can you
Yeah.
imagine her against fucking Rhea? That would be a fucker of a match.
That'd be a
Yeah.
great match. Yeah, I mean Gail Kim's another good
Yeah,
good shout. To be fair, like her and there was a match between her and Awesome Kong, early doors.
Incredible.
Like, I think it got like a 5-star rating or something crazy at the time. It was a pay-per-view match, wasn't it?
Yep.
But yeah, mate,
The Gail Kim Awesome Kong is probably one of the best stories that TNA ever produced because it was like a year-long storyline of Gail Kim
yeah,
just getting squashed by Kong until she actually beat. I think it was a Slammiversary she beat her, right?
I think it looks like Final Resolution. I think
Oh, okay.
potentially here from what I've just googled, but I was just trying to. I'm sure they got like an amazing star rating or something. I can't remember, but yeah, it was really good.
I
They've
think
done
there's
some
a
good
few.
shit. Gail Kim's very good,
I
very
think
good.
there's a few women wrestlers in TNA that probably are underappreciated as well.
It's
Like
probably
Gail
where
Kim, Kong.
they had to go there
Yeah.
to do some wrestling because it was all bra and pants, wasn't it, in WWE?
exactly.
Yeah, mate, that's a great shout. That's a
There
great
we go.
shout.
I've had a few of
ODB.
them this evening. That's all good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are halfway through the list. We've got to number 6. So what we're going to do is take a quick break from the list, and we're going to talk about night 2 of SummerSlam 2025. Okay, Hawxy. So SummerSlam 2025, night 2. Thoughts on night 2 overall?
It pissed all over night 1.
Yes.
Absolutely pissed all over it. If there could be a chalk and a cheese on like a wrestling pay-per-view, then this is definitely it. Some people were talking, and I saw some like other like conversation in the last couple of days, like people saying, "Oh, they should have put maybe 1 or 2 matches that were on night 2 on night 1, and it would have balanced it out and stuff like that." Like, fuck that noise. I want to fucking watch that night 2 again because it was fucking sick. There was probably
Absolutely.
1 match on there which was a bit
Yes.
like, meh.
Shit.
But like, I thought it was fucking great. That was great. The triple threat opened it up: Naomi, Rhea, and Io. Anytime that I get to see Rhea, I'm going to be happy. She could wrestle a fucking. I was going to say. I'm not saying this for any other reason apart from the fact that it's a piss take when Kenny Omega did it. I was going to say she or Ibushi or whatever. She could wrestle a blow up doll, and I would enjoy it. So that's why I was saying it, not for any other reason apart from that. I thought it was a really good match. I was very, very, very surprised at how good Naomi slotted into this. And they made her so strong in the opening. They shined her up real good in this opening, like 5 minutes of this match. It was crazy. And her entrance was sick. Her fucking dad playing the guitar, like to bring her
Cool.
in, was so cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the match. Some really good triple threat spots in there, like really fun stuff. Really good wrestling. Yeah, I enjoyed it. What say you?
Yeah, I want to go back to your original point in terms of like people saying putting matches in night 1 to even up a bit. Night 1 by itself should have been good enough to be a really good night 1. You know, if you look at the people that's involved, and it just wasn't,
Yes.
it just didn't deliver.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've spoken enough about night 1. But yeah, I agree. The triple threat match was a great opener in comparison to the tag team of night 1. It was head and shoulders above that.
Yes, as an opening match. Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
Io and Rhea have got great chemistry in the ring together. I was really concerned that Naomi was involved, even though she's the champ. But
shit all over it.
But I will say, she looked the best she's looked since she's returned to WWE.
Yeah,
Like,
we said that,
she
didn't
was
we, when we were watching it?
unbelievable. And, you know, as a wider story, I think I'm not upset that she won it. I think it'll lead down different roads, which is cool. And I never thought I'd say that about a Naomi win. So there you go. But no, it was a great opener for night 2, and it was like a precursor of things to come, which was amazing.
Yes. I enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Yep.
Yeah. Next up, mate, was the TLC match. Or whatever it is. Table. Yeah, it's TLC, wasn't it? The 6-pack tables, ladders, and chair match. So it was the Wyatt Six. It was Loomis and Gacy. Andrade and Phoenix. Gargano, Ciampa, Fraxium. Axiom and Nathan Fraser. Motor City Machine Guns and Street Profits. What a fucking absolute mental, crazy fucking just unbelievable spot fest this was. But I don't think I could be there for it any more than I was. I fucking loved this match. It was great. Mental, but great.
It's like the OG TLC is like the benchmark, right?
Yeah.
This was approaching that for me in terms of the spots. The people involved were really good. Even Johnny, like Deadface Gargano, played his part in it. Everything was so good. It was, and again, I'm going to say something I never thought I'd say. Fucking massive shout to Candice LeRae, by the way.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like, it's like during the stream, we had this like the death counter in terms of how many times it looks like someone had died.
Yes.
And the guy, Mickey, was saying, like, there's been 26 deaths in this match and one legit death. She literally looked like she died. It was ridiculous. But again, another shout is to Tommaso Ciampa. That fucking... He pulled himself up. Like, he was hanging onto the belts.
Yep.
Pulled himself upside down. The core strength there is fucking insane.
Crazy. Yeah.
And it's just so good. What was the other mental spot?
There was the Spanish fly through the table. Fuck me. Loomis went through one, didn't he, on somebody? Some of the lads went to the outside off the ladder. Fucking, it was just mental. It was mental everywhere.
There was a spot where it was like there was 4 high flying moves done from each, like from a corner. It was like there was a frog splash, there was the Spanish fly, there was the leg drop. It was just so good. And Gargano and Ciampa went through the 4 tables.
Yeah,
it's just
it was non-stop. How long was it? 16 minutes.
16 minutes.
Yeah, it did not seem like 16 minutes at all because it was just like bang, bang, bang. Joe Gacy is amazing, by the way. I haven't really seen much of him. He proper stood out and impressed me. Obviously, they won the numbers. I mean, the number thing, like fucking all the other White lot come and done what they did. I thought Phoenix and Andrade were going to win this.
Yeah, absolutely.
We done that was our prediction, wasn't it? But mate, I hope they all got a bit of a fucking bonus for this because they worked really hard and they really done some shit. They really done some shit.
And
very
no plate
good.
Glass in sight, Hawxy.
No. Well, to be fair, I had to take a point off it because there wasn't any plate glass. So yeah, but honestly, mate, it was brilliant.
Yeah,
fair play to
really
them.
good.
I hope they all got a standing ovation when they fucking walked back because they deserved it. It was great shit, really good shit.
100%.
Next up, the women's Intercontinental Championship match, the no DQ, no count out, last chance between Becky Lynch and Lyra. They worked hard. They had some really cool spots, some brutal spots. With Lyra when she had her like hands wrapped up behind the post and she was like getting fucking hit with the old stick. Like fuck, brutal. I know they messed up the cable tie thing. Like her hands come apart and everyone was shitting all over it. But come on, guys, cut them some fucking slack. But it was decent, really decent match. I like. I'm not going to say like I enjoyed it, but I was like, this is good. You know what I mean? This is decent. Yeah. This is decent. Yeah, they told a good story.
It maybe went 5 minutes too long.
Potentially. Yeah.
I think there was a couple of spots that was really good. I wanted Lyra to do a thing where you can break the cable tie by like smashing it like backwards. I think that would have been a cool spot. But they could have gimmicked the cable tie a bit, I suppose, but it is what it is. They did fuck up the hands. There's a spot where Becky threw Bayley because Bayley got involved into the barrier and she was stumbling and then she was leaning on the table and then a leg drop came and put her through the table. It's like, what the fuck happened there?
Just out of nowhere,
really
literally from out of shot, wasn't it? It was fucking nuts. Yeah.
Really good. Really enjoyed the match. Yeah.
very, very good. For like, obviously, once again, working hard. They're
Yep.
really high on Lyra. You can tell they're trying to keep her strong and put her over strong, and they're putting her with Becky. Obviously, I know Becky and her will get on and they're friends or whatever. But it's a featured spot on a featured pay-per-view, and they went 25 minutes and fucking beat shit out of each other. So fair play to them. Fair play.
And followed the TLC match, which was a difficult thing to do.
Exactly, that crowd would have been gassed out from that, and they had them and they kept them. It was decent.
Yep.
Very good.
Okay.
Next up, mate. This was the damp squib of the evening for me and for you, I think, as well. We were really excited about this match, weren't we? We thought this could be like a bit of a sleeper effort from them. So it's Solo and Fatu in a cage match. Once again, I think I said this. I might have said this on the stream or to you afterwards, that this could have been like a Raw main event or like a SmackDown main event match. Like, it was 12,
not a very good one.
Yeah, it was 12 minutes, loads of run-ins, loads of shenanigans. Like, the whole point of having a cage match is the fact that nobody can do that. That's the original sort of take on it. I mean, you can't get away from me, you can't escape, and nobody can come and save you. Like, it's just me and you locked in a cage, and it's a battle to the death sort of thing. Like, I'm not a big fan of being able to climb the cage and win that way because of that fact. Like, you're not meant to get out of the cage, you're meant to stay in there, and it's pinfall or submission. So the fact that it was like it was a bit of a cop out, and everybody got involved, and all the shenanigans and stuff was a bit bleh for me. And the match wasn't very good as either.
No, it's one of the worst Jacob Fatu matches I've seen since he joined WWE. To be fair, it wasn't great. I
think Solo's got a lot to do with that.
Yeah, but Solo's got better, but the chemistry just wasn't there. It was just really bizarre. I said at the beginning, it was really slow. It was like we talked about night one being lethargic. Yeah, it was like I wanted this should have been a Jacob Fatu squash match. In terms of he just absolutely pummels Solo for like 5 minutes, and then if there's going to be shenanigans, fine. Like, do something cool with it. Like, let them burst through the. I don't know, just do something different. But yeah, it was just really bizarre. And even away from the match, the camera work was bad because there was a spot where Jacob was like handcuffed to the top of the cage, and I called it. It was like they're going to do the Goldberg like ripping the handcuffs off the cage, and they missed it.
And they missed it. Yeah. They got it, but it was from the door, wasn't it? It was like literally 18 feet away, and it was just it just didn't hit. Missed.
I called Solo. I called Solo winning it. I don't think Jacob Fatu is going to be US champion. Like, again, I think he's going to be pushed to the moon. He's going to be going for the big belts very, very soon because they're so high on him. So I didn't see Solo like losing this match, but yeah, it was just a bit. It felt every second of the 12 minutes 40.
Yeah.
It was so painful. Like that big fucking, what's his face, Hikuleo?
Yeah. There was a bit where Jimmy come in and done the super kick, didn't he? And Hikuleo was like sort of stood there, like half looking at him, like just waiting.
The camera view.
Yeah, right in the camera, and it was a miss. It was a miss, that's all. Yeah,
there was a spot at the end of the match though where he did the moonsault from the top of the cage onto fucking Jeff Cobb and
Tangaloa.
Tamatong, whatever his fucking name is.
Yeah. Tangaloa.
Why wasn't that in the match? You know, it just seems a bit off.
He killed Tangaloa as well, by the way. Jeff Cobb couldn't have been any further out of the way from that from that spot. And Tangaloa took all of Fatu's ass right on his fucking face. It was hilarious. I'm pretty sure he got knocked out. I'm pretty sure of it. Either that or he already got knocked silly. So, but it was it was just a miss. That's all it was. It was just a miss, just a miss. And it's I'd said about 30 seconds before, like, Tangaloa's going to fuck something up here as well. What's he going to fuck up in this match? And he nearly got killed by Jacob Fatu, so it was perfect timing. Beautiful. After this was Dirty Dom and AJ Styles, which is another match we were looking forward to. And it fucking delivered. It was an homage to Eddie without being, like, just a piss take of it all, if you know what I mean. Like, it was it was that blatant. It was that it was good. It wasn't somebody like trying to like, oh, is it on? Is it not? Like AJ had Eddie's gear on, like he made his kick pad covers look like Eddie's boots. Like he came in on a fucking lowrider. Like he was doing like, I mean, frog splashes,
Shimmy.
the shimmy, fucking three amigos. Like he was doing. They done the chair spot, didn't they? Like the bang on the mat, throw it and drop it on the floor. He put it on. Did he put it on his head? He put it on his head and laid it. It was just. Dom is amazing. He's really, really good. This is a side of AJ Styles which I don't think many people have seen. If they have, it hasn't been for a long time. Like that sort of quote unquote character work, because everyone says he wasn't very good on the mic and his character work was shit and all this, that, and the other. Where's this been hiding for the last 20 years? He's fucking great. So I enjoyed it. What was that? 10 minutes 45. Once again, they had to follow like lots of gimmick matches back to back, and they came in. They done something different. They got over big time. Dirty Dom won as well. He beat AJ, retained the belt. Fucking really fun. Really fun.
So that was Dominic's 20-year anniversary, because that's 20 years since Eddie fought Ray for custody of Dom. So that's why there was such a big, massive Eddie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's what he's saying. He's a 20-year
Why did I
vet.
not know that? That
Yeah,
is
so there you go.
crazy.
But the best bit was,
Sick.
obviously, AJ was getting the calf crusher on Dominic, and every so often Dominic would unzip his boot, and it got
Yes.
to the end, and it was the Eddie spot again, where the boot came off,
Just a
then
Kurt Angle
Dom
gimmick,
smacked
weren't
him
it?
with the boot,
Yeah.
got the pin. Such a great match. Fucking loved
Yeah.
it. 10 minutes of absolute perfection. And like I say, there is Solo and Jacob and Dominic and AJ. We were both looking forward to it, and both one didn't deliver and one really, really did. So
Yes.
I was happy it got there.
Kind of made up for it a little bit. It was sick. I remember we were marking out. I'm
were?
not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to admit it. We were marking out, and that's
Speaking
absolutely
about marking
fine
out,
by me.
Hawxy.
Oh my god, what a fucking match this was! What a main event. We were watching it, and it was like we were watching a show that was really good, and then it just went boom, like 3 levels up, didn't it? The whole atmosphere changed, like the whole presentation changed, like the crowd just buzzed a little bit more, and they were making a bit more noise. It's Cody and Cena, obviously, for the street fight for this title. Fuck me, what a match! What a main event! Proper pro wrestling main event. It was beautiful. It's what their WrestleMania match should have been.
Yep.
It was like it was what fucking hell, 37 minutes. 37
feel it.
minutes. It did not feel it at all. I wanted it to go. I wanted it to carry on forever. The ebb and flow, the spots, like the bit when they went underneath the stage and then came up on Cody's razor thing. And I said to him, I was like, if he comes up on his fucking shoulders and F you, I'm gonna lose my head. And he just raised up like the lighting on his face, and he's just giving it the look. And it was so fucking good. I loved it. I loved this match.
It started, obviously, John Cena was essentially became babyface again on the SmackDown, and then it was his entrance was colour. You know, it
Colours,
was back to the blue,
yeah.
and it was
All the
proper John
lights,
Cena babyface. Yeah. And they had the moment where Cody worked as the heel, right?
Yes,
Because they had to. It was
they
like
had
Rock
to.
Hogan-esque.
Yep.
Because Cena was so over as babyface. Now, obviously, I'm disappointed in the result.
Yep.
Like,
I'm not.
yeah, fuck off. I mean, look, we'll see how it goes. I still think Cody needs to be heel, but the match that's for another day. In terms of the match, 37 minutes, and it was brilliant. It was such a great match. We were the last 10 minutes or so. We were there for every false finish. We were
Yes.
like 40-year-old men just fucking going mental. Right? It was just insane. It was so good. And obviously Cody Rhodes defeated John Cena. John Cena had his moment in the ring, saying thank you to the audience, blah blah blah, and then
yes, the big boy comes back, which I
big
was
boy's
not
back.
expecting until somebody spoiled it in the chat. But that was nuts. That was nuts. What are your thoughts on this? Give me your thoughts. I want to.
Look, it's well documented that he's been named in the Vince McMahon lawsuit, right? It's well documented, but you're innocent until proven guilty. He's not the one that's being sued. He's obviously implicated in it. I think that WWE would be really, really stupid if they haven't done their due diligence on this and brought him back without checking the legal status, all that sort of stuff. You cannot dispute that Brock Lesnar is an absolute superstar, right? He is in the upper echelons. You could take him out for a couple of years, as has happened, and fire him straight into the main event because he's that good, right?
Mhm.
He's good in the ring. He's got the good character. He can fucking go, and he's a legitimate badass, right? So I've got personally no issue with it. Like, legality and morality aside, that's a completely different matter. That's not for this podcast. We're talking about wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
You?
I couldn't agree anymore. I think it's the greatest hits, isn't it? We were talking while the match was going on about different bits and bobs. Obviously, he's had the Randy thing, he's had the Punk thing. Like, the only other, maybe we can get Edge back, maybe as a little final run, which is not going to happen. But Brock's come in, and it's he's going through his greatest hits. He's going through those big hit feuds and going through his career in the last year, which is, I think that's kind of cool. It's literally like they're putting the band back together for one last tour, if you know what I mean, and playing all the greatest hits, which for me is really cool. So I'm here for it, mate. They had Nicki Minaj on, who is she's confessed to drugging people to steal their money.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll was a convicted felon. He was in prison. Legit was in prison. Nikki Bella was there. She's paying money to her ex for fucking doing bad shit to him. Like, I think we can't really speak about something that hasn't been proven yet. Anyway, if you know what I mean. So that, like, this is all stuff that I've seen over the years, if that makes sense. So we can talk about all this stuff all we want. There's always some shit going on somewhere. So
100%.
but like I said, from the wrestling perspective, mate, I'm here for it. I really am here for it. But just that match as a main event wrestling match, you can't really ask for much more than that. The build was perfect. What they were fighting for was amazing. The actual match itself and the story in the match was fucking beautiful. Cena, I mean, the JBL thing, the big match, John, that it's always said, it's fucking true. There is not many people better when it comes to that. When it comes to that big match, Cody was calling some shit. John was calling some shit. Cody was there for everything. The little embrace. I really want to know what John said to him at the end. What upset him? What upset Cody? I really want to know what was said. I hope it sort of comes out. But I just think it was special, very special thing to have watched. It was cool to have watched it like as it happened, if you know what I mean.
We forgot to mention at the very beginning Cody's entrance, Dusty Rhodes' fucking voice and the quote.
I think I blocked that out, to be fair, because I started going on the fucking street. I don't give a fuck. I'll admit it to anyone. That was amazing. That was amazing. So the entrance way was cool. The big screens, the way it was all laid out was really cool.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was everything you want from a main event at a wrestling match. That is what Mania should have been, because that would be up there as like one of the best Mania main events. I think if they transposed the whole of that bit, but just put it before WrestleMania and had that match at Mania, that would have been talked about as one of the best, like one of the better WrestleMania main events of all time. I think probably one of the best, if not the best, SummerSlam main event ever.
It'd be up there, certainly. Yeah, it was a great match. I mean, again, Cody as champion as a face. I'm not there for that, but we'll see how it goes.
Did you see the after show thing, and all the crowd were chanting Homelander at him, and he just started smirking? Did you see this?
I didn't see it. No.
I'll see if I can find it out, and I'll send it to you. You'll probably have to find it on YouTube or Shorts or whatever. But there was like all the people chanting Homelander, like Homelander, and he was just like he just smirked. It was fucking brilliant. Yeah.
I've got two questions before we go back onto the list. I've got two questions for you, right?
Okay.
Who is going to be Cena's last match? 14 dates left. I think it is 12 to 14 dates left. Who's he going to pass the torch to?
It's hard. It has to be Gunther for me, I think. I'm trying to think of anyone. Like, Braun is all wrapped up with the Seth thing. So they'd have to sort of peel him away from that to go and do something with him. I'm trying to think of somebody else. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think there's anybody else, really.
No, I would agree.
If there is, I can't think of it right now. It might have been cool for maybe to do it with like an Austin Theory kind of level of talent, somebody like that. But it just, I would very much so like him to go and do something in TNA. Just like if he rocked up at Bound
Joe
for
Hendry.
Glory and had a match with Joe Hendry, that's literally what I was going to say. Like if he rocked up and had a match with Joe Hendry, I think that would be amazing. That would be a real moment for everything, not necessarily even just for like me as a fan. Like I think it would be a real moment. But it has to be Gunther, doesn't it? It has to be, surely. It's probably why they got the belt off him.
Yeah. Stars are aligning a little bit, right? Because he's going to be out indefinitely. That's what was announced in Raw. And I can see the sort of promo that's going to happen. John Cena's there and he's like second or third last date. And he's going to say, look, I've fought everybody I need to fight. I've beaten, I've lost, I've done this. There's no one else for me to do. And then it's, and then Gunther comes out. You haven't bet me.
You haven't been the best in the world, mate.
Yeah, and I think also, I understand what you mean, but with Braun, you need to be taken away. I don't think John Cena now would get a good match out of Braun Breaker because Braun is just too quick. John's not. I don't think John's got the capability just now to do that sort of fast-paced match. I think seeing what Punk and Gunther did, that pacing of match, be fucking perfect for John Cena.
Mm-hmm. It's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout.
And the second question...
Yeah. Go on.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. It's fine. It's
Okay,
fine.
sorry. Okay, so second question is, I said at the beginning, this is going to be really important. SummerSlam over 2 nights. This show would dictate whether this SummerSlam would... Let's start that again. This SummerSlam 2 nights would dictate whether
if they'd done it
SummerSlam
again.
would work over 2 nights.
Yeah.
Do you think it achieved that?
I think it did. I genuinely think it did. What night one was weak, but I was saying like as a comparison to what we've been watching for the last like however long, we've been spoiled. We really have been spoiled. Night one was better than most AW pay-per-views that's been for the last fucking 3 years. You know what I mean? So it's like a comparison to WWE stuff, but they could have put maybe one stronger match in that first night, and we would have been talking about that first night very differently. If they had like first, middle, and last was like really good, then you sort of forget about the other shit. But the fact that night 2 was just absolutely stacked with just, they couldn't have put that Gunther and Punk match on the same. Who do you take away on that? You know what I mean? You either have the pay-per-view, which is like another 45 minutes longer.
Yep.
And like Gunther and Punk going on first to give enough time for like Cena and Cody to go on and do 45 minutes. Like it just wouldn't have worked. So to have that big main event on the first night and then allowed to have a big main event on the second night when it's dark and they can have half an hour, 45 minutes. Yes, please. Fucking sign me up. Sign me up.
Excellent. Yeah, guys, so do you agree
my
with...
veins?
Do you agree with me and Hawxy? I mean, we thought SummerSlam was a success. Night 1 was wiggy, but night 2 definitely made up for it. Let us know. You can email us wrestlemark10@gmail.com. Tweet us, mark_out of 10. DM us on Instagram, mark out of 10 podcast. Mark out of 10 on TikTok and on YouTube. But also go to www.moo10.com. That's MOO10.com. You can leave a comment, leave feedback, and also leave us a voicemail as well, and we can listen to that. Speaking of which, we are going to listen to some of the voicemails we've received over the last week or so. So listen up.
Wagwan me driller. Suggestion: you should do like a top 10 females currently in wrestling now versus who you think would be like in the wrestlers back in the day, like in their prime, like what would be a good event, and for males as well. So like how I was saying in the chat, like Jacqueline v one of them, and
Hi, it's Bobby here. Bobby Robertson, host of the Market of Nine podcast. Just to let you know, you're breaching my trademark, and I'm going to be taking you to court for $3 million. You better get that affiliate quite quickly, because you'll be scared otherwise.
Oh yeah, Paul here, Black Country T-shirts. Just wanted to say the 10 greatest wrestling catchphrase was a great episode, and that little quip from Shieldz where he's talking about the Tornado Tag Team and the New Age Outlaws pinning themselves to get the win. Virgin!
So, Hawxy, that's some of the voicemails there. Thank you to Paul for that lovely voicemail. Appreciate that. Okay, Hawxy, let's get back to the list then. Top 10 underrated stars in wrestling. I believe it's my number 5 because I was at number 6. So,
Yep.
as I say, mine's is quite TNA heavy, and this is another one that won't disappoint, I don't think. It's a guy who, I suppose you could say, did he change the game? Potentially, but he doesn't get the credit he deserves, and that's Petey Williams. I think he's properly underrated. Petey is the guy that created the move that's probably being overutilized in wrestling now. It's the Canadian Destroyer. It's one of the most iconic. Yeah, it's copied. It pops the crowd every single time. Petey did it first, right? It was his. It meant something there. But Petey Williams was more than like just that one move. He was a major player in the golden era, you can call it, of the X Division in TNA.
Yeah.
He like redefined what American wrestling was. You know, he was just different class, man. Yeah, but he could hang with absolutely anyone. He could go with like the Chris Sabins, but he could also hang with like AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. Right, anyone. He was fast. He was like strong, like stupidly strong. Everything was really crisp in the ring. His storytelling was good, like Team Canada stuff he was doing was brilliant. And then obviously he leaned into like his character work when like Little Petey Pump with Scott Steiner, like he came on with like the bands and
The
stuff.
chainmail as well.
The chainmail. It's like it was so good, but you know he never held the world title, and he should have. You know, again similar to like Frankie Kazarian. If you talk about X Division Mount Rushmores, he doesn't really get mentioned in that either, and that's probably a crime because he was just so consistent, really innovative, obviously with the Canadian Destroyer, and yeah, that particular move has shaped an entire generation of like moves again within wrestling. So, and he's obviously a producer in WWE, so he's still laying the foundations for matches like as we go on. So there you go, Petey Williams, number 5.
It's really strange because we were watching something the other day, and he came out, didn't he, for like to split up some stuff, and I was like, oh my god, that's Petey Williams. Oh, what? He's so underrated. Like, what a fucking guy he was. And he didn't even pop into my head to put him even anywhere near this list.
There you go.
But yeah, once again, if he was around now, I mean, maybe 10 years, a little bit later.
All the money.
Yeah, massive. Great shout. Cannot argue with that one bit, mate. Great shout.
Nice. Okay, Hawxy, you're number 5.
My number 5 is beautiful Bobby Eaton. I think when you look at we talk about Jim Cornette, we've talked about tag teams, you know what I mean, like the Midnight Express. We talked about even stuff when it was like happening in the 90s at WCW. He would have had an input on Regal. He would have had an input with Triple H. Like you could put him in there with anyone, whether they were really good wrestlers or really bad. He would make everybody look better. He could work. He could go. Once again, he's just one of those guys that sort of goes under the radar because he was that steady and that good or whatever. But he's one of the best to ever do it. Legit, one of the best to ever do it. And I think if you look back, or if you look at a certain period of time, and maybe people who would speak about Bobby Eaton, you would be surprised on who he sort of had influence on and had impact on, and actually probably helped along the way and trained a little bit and done a little bit with. But he was just absolutely flawless in the ring. Not to like the Tiffany Stratton point I was making earlier on in terms of like he was like too good, if you know what I mean. Like he was flawless, technical, high flyer, like tag team, singles. He could work. He could work as a heel. He could work as a face. Like just anyone who's anyone, you would mention Bobby Eaton, they would be like, "Oh my god, he's incredible, absolutely incredible, amazing worker, amazing guy." Blah blah blah. Blah. He's just one of those guys that, like I said, you just, it sounds daft, but you sort of forget about. And he's amazing. He wasn't underutilized by any means because he won titles everywhere he was and stuff. But if he was around now, fuck me. Like if he was around in the 90s, like in his prime in that 90s period, and we'd be talking about him up there with like Brett and Owen and fucking like your Eddie Guerreros and all that sort of stuff. He was amazing, amazing talent, massively underrated for me. My number 5, Bobby Eaton.
That's a great shout. Yeah, again, he's not on my list. He was on my wider list, but I didn't put him on.
Yeah,
can't argue. Number 4.
Quote the Raven, forevermore. We've spoke a lot about Raven over the podcast, just dropping in to different bits and bobs. For this point, basically, the fact that he is massively underrated. That period of time when he was, you know what I mean, the Raven's flock in that sort of WCW, ECW period of time, I think he could have been a guy.
Yeah.
Not like, you mean, not the guy, if that makes sense, but he could have been a top guy. He could have been a guy. He could have held a big belt, and people would have believed that. He was amazing on the mic. He could go in the ring. He had a look. I think he's one of those, that sort of period of time. He just, a little bit earlier on, when I was talking about Vader, sort of in the right places at the wrong time, or in the wrong places at the, I mean, at the worst time, if you know what I mean. Like he couldn't bring it all together at the right time all of the time for a period of time, if you know what I mean, to be spoken about as one of the guys, basically. But he was amazing. He could go. He could really go, and I liked him. He sort of shown what he could do a little bit when he was in TNA. I mean, early days TNA is, I mean, like it's very, very different. You can't really look at it as it is now, or back then it was one of them sort of things. But there was a period of time where he was top shit for a long time, and he could go as a main event talent. He really could go, and he had some good feuds as well. But he's just underrated. No one talks about Raven, and they should, because he's very
We
good.
do. We
We
fucking
do.
talk about Raven.
Yes, we do. We do talk about Raven, but I think more people should talk about Raven. Raven. Okay, no.
I said this on the podcast, right? Because it goes along with the whole talking about Raven. We talk about him.
Yes.
You know, we talk about the fucking Dave Meltzer and all stuff. They are like the go-to people for the yesteryear wrestling. Mark out of 10, Hawxy and Shieldz. We are the custodians of modern day wrestling.
Yes.
We are going to be that's the aim for Mark out of 10. We want to be the guys that people will come to for our observations and our memories of what we see as wrestling over the last 20 years, for example. We're the custodians of modern wrestling. That's what I'm going for, Hawxy.
This period of time. That works for me. That works for me.
Absolutely.
But
Can I just say,
go on.
Raven's effect, the DDT he did was fucking incredible as well.
Yeah, it was cool. Really cool. I just think it's like he went to WWF in, like, I mean, that sort of the early 2000s, that sort of when the whole buyout and everything and all the swap across and stuff. Like, he just, nothing happened. He turned into the hardcore guy, didn't he? And it was shit, because he's so much better than that. He just didn't have that period of time, that big muscled up fucking meathead 6'8" fucking look, did he? That was sort of big at the time. Once again, I'm going to say this, like I've said now a couple of times. Imagine him right now, imagine him. He's what fucking Moxley wants to be. You know what I mean? The badass and hiding in the fucking boiler room and cutting weird promos and being fucking trying to be cool and all that sort of stuff. Like, imagine Raven in a 2025. Like, he would be a top guy in AEW, 100%. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Can't disagree. I didn't put him on my list. I'm fucking raging. My number 4. It's Dolph. I'm actually raging at myself. Like, fucking fuming. Like,
why? Why are you angry so much?
Because you've mentioned 2 guys that should be on my list: Bam Bam and fucking Raven. Just like, it's like. Right, let's talk about Dolph, right?
Cool. Yeah.
We do love Dolph Ziggler, right? He's fucking incredible. He did everything that's like senior management asked of him, but he was still overlooked, which is mental to say, right?
Yeah.
Now, I know he's a 2-time world champion, multiple time like Intercontinental, US champion, tag team champion. He's like basically held titles in every sort of division he's done. He had the Money in the Bank. Again, when he cashed it in, one of the loudest pops. You know when he cashed it in Del Rio.
Yep.
But he was never like he's selling. You're talking about Bob Eaton, right? The selling of fucking Dolph Ziggler is incredible. You know, he's got the look. He had the fucking entrance. His timing is just top class. He's tippity top. He's a top guy.
Yep.
He makes everybody look better when he's in the ring with them, and he's been doing it for about 20 years, right? But there's always what do we mean by underutilized? It's like he's never been the guy. He's been a guy, but he's never been a top guy.
But he never held the title for ages. You know what I mean? He probably had it. Probably that world title combined, he probably had it for like 2 months.
The first one, he got a concussion, right, and he had to relinquish it. And he's had a few bad concussions. That's why he had to relinquish it.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, he's not.
Some of the bumps.
It's just so harsh, man.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant wrestler. He's got charisma. He can talk. I feel so sad for him. He was never like an issue backstage, as far as I'm aware. He wasn't like a Shawn Michaels type asshole when he was younger.
You don't stay around for that long if you are a dick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think, obviously, he's in TNA just now, which is great for him. But I genuinely believe Dolph Ziggler is, and so is my next guy, actually, you don't appreciate what you've got until it's too late, until it's gone.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that's there. And, you know, so yeah, for me, he's underrated, maybe not, underutilized, absolutely. So
yes.
Yeah, Dolph Ziggler's my number 4.
Yeah, we're not going to fall out about Dolph Ziggler being on this type of list. I can see what you're saying, but like I said, for me, I think people rate him as being a really good wrestler and a really good guy. Like I said, people just don't think he got his opportunity. If you said to me like, "Oh, yeah, Bam Bam, yeah, Bam Bam," mate, who was your number 6 again? I've had a brain fart. Number 5.
My number 5 is Pete Williams.
Pete Williams, that's it. Yeah, I'm making a little note for my posterity as well. This side, so yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, cool. So number 4 is fucking Dolph. Number 3,
Dolph Ziggler. Come on, we're getting
probably
into it
the most underappreciated talents in WWE history, not just wrestling, just WWE. The Miz. I think The Miz is massively underrated. It's like you'll hear people go, "Oh, he isn't top tier. He's not cool. He's this. He's that." He doesn't need to be, right? He is. I was thinking about this when I was writing the list. He's like the ultimate throwback heel guy. He doesn't want to be liked. He doesn't need to be liked. He can play the baby face, but he's much better as a heel. He doesn't need to be cheered, but he still manages to stay relevant. You know, it's like he's got the finger on the pulse. And if you think about where he's came from, right, that reality TV guy, he was hazed, disrespected, he was kicked out of the locker room. You know, he was made to like get changed in the public toilets and stuff in venues. But he became a 2-time WWE champion, a main event WrestleMania against John Cena. You know, a multiple-time Intercontinental Championship, and you could argue he made the Intercontinental Championship relevant again. You know, during that time. Tag team champion. He is the guy WWE will go to if they need a safe pair of hands, right? And you think about his promo he did with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
You know, That was a shoot,
I
man.
don't. I don't. I was going to say I don't. That's not a promo. That was just him losing his head, basically. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he lost his head, but in a professional manner, which
Yeah.
is mental,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you could throw him to do the Make-A-Wish stuff. Like he does it. He can do media because he knows how to talk.
Yeah. Stick him on
He
Jimmy
can-
Kimmel or something like that. Yeah.
He'd be absolutely fine. He shows up. He very, very rarely gets injured. I think it's the first injury he's had very recently in like the 20 odd years he's been there.
Forever. Yeah.
You know, he's the guy that he may not be the tippity top guy, but he's a guy that you could build your company around as a safe pair of hands to help build your company. And he might not be a highlight reel. He might not do that. He just be there. But I do think fans do take him for granted, and I think he's massively, massively underrated.
Yeah.
Huge talent.
You've said this for a long time. He's one of those guys that you could put him tomorrow with somebody in NXT. You could bring him in, and he could have a feud with. Is it Trick Williams, who's the NXT guy? Yeah, yeah. So you could have a feud with Trick Williams, or you could pick him up and you could put him with Damien Priest, or you could put him with Gunther when he was the world champion, and nobody would be like, "What the fuck's going on here?" It's like because he's been there. You could go and stick him in a tag team with Logan Paul, and it would get over. You know what I mean?
That's how Logan Paul came into the business.
Exactly. It's like the utility guy, isn't he? He's the James Milner of fucking WWE.
Stick him brilliant.
You know what I mean? You didn't put him in goal. You know what I mean? Like he would work. It would work. So yeah, great shout.
Yeah,
great shout.
Okay, Hawxy boy, you're number 3.
It's Ken Shamrock.
Oh, that's a great shout.
I just think. Do you know you were talking about your Blackman sort of situation earlier on? Steve Blackman was saying like he was sort of in a time where he was a badass, legit, and all this, that, and the other. Obviously, Ken Shamrock was in featured positions. He had IC championship belts. I've heard on podcast interviews, by his own admission, he sort of let the opportunity slip. He didn't realize the opportunity that he had, and he was out partying too much and was being unreliable and not showing up to places and things like that. I think if he didn't do that, he would have been a WWE champion. Without a shadow of a doubt, he would have been a WWF champion. Without a shadow of a doubt. I think he could have been that tippy-top guy. I think they were grooming him to be that tippy-top guy because he was working with those people anyway. He could fucking... For what he needed to do at that time, he could go. In that period of time, he really could go. And he had the legitimate background. Everybody knew he would be able to chew someone's face off if he had to as well. You know what I mean? Like, but I just think, like I say, what the whole reason for this list, that underrated talent. When you look back at guys, you got The Rock. He worked with Triple H. He worked with that Stone Cold, Owen Hart, people of that era. We talk about those people as being some of the best wrestlers of all time. Yet no one speaks about Ken Shamrock, and we fucking should do because he was really good. And once again, he probably just, like I said, he got in his own way a little bit, so he wasn't there to carry on. I would love to have seen Ken Shamrock have a really good feud with a Kurt Angle. I think they could have done some great business. Like he could have been a world. I know he went to TNA. He won the NWA championship. Like okay, like he was a world champion. But not really where it should have been a world champion and where it should have mattered. Like I said, no one speaks about Ken Shamrock. They might pop into a conversation, oh, fucking hell, yeah, Ken Shamrock, or they'll see a clip and it'll be like, cool. But when you're talking about that period of time and just like really fucking elite guys who coulda, shoulda, woulda, I think Ken Shamrock is there for me. Massively underrated talent.
Great show.
He was genuinely the second name I put on this list. But he's managed to become number 3 on the list because I thought of somebody else. So, yeah. Ken Shamrock, number 3.
Nice up, Hawxy. And you're number 2?
I'm really, really torn even now whether to switch these around. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to switch it around. My number 2 is Christian.
Okay.
How the fuck does he not get his flowers? Anytime we talk about some of the greatest of all time, like Edge, we talk about Edge. People talk about Edge, and I think if you sort of make lists of like, I mean, especially the last 20 years of like, Edge will always be spoken about before Christian. With most fans, I would say 99, well, maybe 90% of the time, people are going to talk about Edge before they talk about Christian. I genuinely, I think he's fucking phenomenal, and massively underrated. Even at the time, early days, like early doors, he had to go away and earn his stripes, didn't he? He had to go away to TNA, and that was some of the best shit he ever did. No one speaks about it. He was so good as Christian Cage in that TNA run. When he come back, like some of the feuds he had, like that feud with Randy Orton, some of those matches he had with Randy Orton are just absolutely phenomenal. And like we talk about Randy as being one of the best. Like he was mixing it up with Randy, and he won the belt, and they were feuding over the title. Like some of the stuff he was doing in WWE was great before and after. Like that run he had recently when he was doing really good stuff in AEW, when he was like, I mean, he was the best heel in the world at one point.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that he was doing, those promos and those interviews, and just taking the piss out of people and just being a prick on the mic. Like he was the best heel in the world at one point. He's massively underrated for me. People don't talk about Christian the way that they should talk about Christian, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. Do you think that's to do with like the WWE effect? Because as you say, his TNA stuff was the best stuff he's ever done. His heel stuff in AEW, he was the best heel in the world for a period of time, but he never quite got over the hump in WWE. Do you think that's why he's so underappreciated?
I think the WWE didn't rate him.
Yeah,
they did at one point because he was tag champ with Edge doing loads of stuff. They chose him. He was like, we all joke that there's always a Jannetty, if you know what I mean. He was like the Jannetty, but I think Christian's a better worker than Edge. He's a better in-ring worker than Edge, without a shadow of a doubt. And they chose to go with Edge because he's probably a little bit better looking. I think he looks like a critter, in my opinion, but there we go. And they wanted to put a blue dot over fucking Christian's face. It's just Vince just being a Vince, isn't it? You know what I mean? He chose that person and he's got the pencil and that was it. But like I think Christian's a better worker than Edge. I just think he didn't get the opportunities. He should have got the opportunities that he should have, if you know what I mean. And it's not underutilized because he won stuff and he went places and won belts and this, that, and the other. I just think no one speaks about Christian in the way that he should do. And that is really the definition of underrated, isn't it? Like people don't rate him as highly as I think they should. So Christian for me, definitely. Had to get it on the list.
That's a great shout. Again, he's not on my list. I 100% agree with you. He's so talented. I think definitely underappreciated, underutilized in WWE. So yeah, awesome.
Maybe he just didn't make as much noise, or maybe he didn't politic his way that maybe he should have. I don't. There's way more to this stuff. I mean, this is all just opinion and that and conjecture or whatever. But there's always more to it than that. But I don't think anyone's ever got a bad word to say about Christian. And like I said, he's just in ring. He's fucking phenomenal. So yeah. Just once again, it just didn't work, right? Just didn't work out. Yeah.
Okie dokie. My number 2, and I think this is the first ever time this has happened. This is the first time we've ever got this far through the list and we've had the same guy as Taz. So it's like we usually have a lot more people that we
closer
match up
together.
On.
Yeah.
But this is like Taz is for me one of the most underrated guys ever, man. And everything you said before, the human suplex machine, he was just... You go back to his ECW days, he was just a force of nature, right? It was like, he wasn't a wrestler, he was a fighter. He made everything look so real, which really helped with the grittiness of ECW. Again, we talk about the Bam Bam Bigelow Taz fight. It was just real. He was short, and I think this is probably why he didn't get over in WWE, because he was just too small. You know, if he was a couple inches taller, he probably would have been. But he was a guy that would choke you out, like legit. You know, he was brought in, and his debut was against Kurt Angle. You know, it's like, and it just didn't ever follow through from there.
Yes,
and then you talk about I think he's underappreciated in two different ways, right? The in-ring talent, and then a commentator. He's fucking great in commentary. You know, the stuff he done with Cole, the stuff he's doing in AEW now. I mean, and he's working with fucking Excalibur.
Tony
You know,
Schiavone, yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's just, he's just so, he's helping. Like, if you talk about commentary, he would definitely be in the discussion to be in like the top 5 like commentators of all time for me, because he's so good, and he brings like a legitness to it because he's done it. He's been there, right?
Yeah.
Like, so
He
yeah,
calls it as a shoot. He does call it as a shoot. Yeah, like I say, he adds legitimacy to what they're talking about, and he's really, really good at portraying that to the listener as well. And he asks questions, and he actually fucking like not disagrees, but he you know what I mean. He makes the other guys who are with him. Like I said, when he's on it, he makes the other guys who are with him work for it, which is brilliant. That's what you want. It's what you want from a commentator. He's great. I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so we've now got to number 2. What we do before we reveal our number 1 is we have an honourable mention. Someone that we want to put on the list or should be on the list, but we couldn't find a way to fit them in. So it's basically a cheeky way for us to have 11 guesses on a top 10 list. Okay, so it's my honourable mention first. Now,
Yep.
I've been cheeky here because I've put these guys in as a duo, right?
Okay.
And there's a reason, because they're synonymous with each other's wrestling career. And the reason why it came to my head is because I've been watching WWE Unreal just now,
Right.
and he appeared in this because he's now backstage at WWE. Is Joseph Parks and James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister from TNA.
Okay.
Is that okay? I think 2 of them, character-wise, are probably in modern wrestling are really underappreciated. If we talk about like James Mitchell first, right, the Sinister Minister, he was like an even darker, if possible, Paul Bearer. You know, it was more satanic, loads more theatrics in it. He gave Joseph Parks Abyss that like dark monster legitimacy we talked about with Taz there. He wasn't just his manager, he was like that devil on his shoulder. Like he was essentially, he was the urn for the Undertaker, right? But he's there. He made every feud, like the feud with like Sabu, for example, was just brilliant. He could talk. He's just fucking. He was just so good. I was really surprised that WWE never took him and Abyss over. And if we talk about Abyss, Joseph Parks, he was TNA's answer to like Mankind or Kane. He was a hardcore monster. You know, he had that sort of pain in it, like tax, fire, scared of fucking barbed wire. You know, it's just all those different things. And that's what, for me, makes him really underappreciated, because it's the sort of range that he could do. Because if you think about Abyss, you have the flip side of the coin where he played Joseph Parks. He was soft-spoken. He was that nervous guy. He was like the backstage guy. It was a character on TNA TV.
Yeah.
He was comedy. And I think that's just really, really great. 'Cause, you know, they weren't world champions. They weren't even in the main event of TNA, but they should have been. It was like proper storytelling. So yeah, both those together. Maybe I've cheated a wee bit and got 2 honourable mentions, but I think they go hand in hand with each other. Yeah.
Abyss was the last name that I took off the list, and I genuinely nearly gave him the honourable mention spot, which is crazy.
That's wild.
I think Abyss was a highlight of TNA for a long period of time. I think when you go back and you look at like some of their featured stuff and their big moments, Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy, Jeff Jarrett, AJ Styles, like Sabu, they had one thing in common, and that was Abyss. So, yeah, he was always a tippy top guy. He's always in a featured spot. I really rate Abyss, and I once again underrated. He doesn't get the credit he deserves. Definitely, really good. And the fact that he's an agent now in the WWE after not wrestling there or being there, I mean, he
Tells you everything.
It tells you everything. Yeah.
I think what I forgot to mention is like what I think with Abyss for TNA is similar to like the Miz in WWE. He's like the safe pair of hands that you could put anybody in the ring with, like from the TNA point of view.
And it would work. It would work. It would get over. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, good shout.
Okay, Hawxy, your honourable mention.
My honorable mention is Ricky Steamboat.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
he's one of the best to ever do it.
Yep.
But when people sort of make a list, as we do, or speak about some of the best to ever do it, he won't be on many lists.
Yeah, it's not
But
right.
he's legit one of the best to ever do it. We talk about WrestleMania 3. Everyone says, "Oh, it's Savage and Steamboat. It's never Steamboat and Savage." You know what I mean? Like, oh, fucking yeah, Flair and Steamboat. It's never Steamboat and Flair. You know what I mean? Like, oh, fucking Rude and Steamboat. Like, it's never Steamboat and Rude. Like, Steamboat was a fucking absolute one of the best to ever do it, and he was up there, world champ multiple times, featured spots, went everywhere, done everything. Like, it was unbelievable talent. I was thinking about like some of the guys. I was thinking, do you know what? Like, yeah, and I've snuck him in the honorable mention spot just to sort of get him because I wouldn't know where to put him on the list of 10, if you know what I mean. So at least with the honorable mention, it's like, oh well, he's going to be there. But like, no one talks about him. Like, you have to like drag that out of somebody to make them think, or you say, oh yeah, what at Steamboat? Oh fucking hell yeah, I loved Steamboat. He's amazing. Like, what a guy. Like, he wrestled fucking Jericho, but he wrestled in the 70s and all that. Like, amazing talent, unbelievable. Wrestled everywhere, held championships everywhere. Japan, America, fucking like Puerto Rico, wherever you want to go, he was there. So I don't. I like I said, he's underrated because people don't think about him
Yeah.
when they should do. For me,
That's a fucking
that's
phenomenal shit.
that's kind of like, I think that's kind of been my sort of MO through this list, is like people who people should think more about, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think that's probably how I've going through it and sort of justifying it. It's probably how I've sort of made this list. If you know what I mean, people should really, people need to put respect on these motherfuckers' name. That's what they need to do.
That's the beauty of what we do, like a market of 10, though, right? It's like we get a topic. We don't have any sort of criteria. Justification is everything. It's however you interpret the list, I think, is really important. So
Yeah.
we've done it in totally different ways, which is great.
Yes.
So what we'll do now, before we reveal our number ones, we will go through 10 to honourable mention. I'll go first because obviously your number one's getting revealed first. My number 10 is Steve Blackman. My number 9 was Amazing Red. 8 was Dean Malenko.
Yeah.
7 was Frankie Kazarian. 6 was One Dirty Bitch, ODB. 5 was Petey Williams. 4, Dolph Ziggler, Raging. 3 was The Miz. 2 was Taz. And my honourable mention was Joseph Parks, aka Abyss, and James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister. Hawxy?
Number 10, Jay Lethal. 9, Vader. 8, Taz. 7, Bam Bam Bigelow. 6, Shelton Benjamin. 5, Bob Eaton. 4, Raven. 3, Ken Shamrock. 2, Christian. And my honourable mention is Ricky Steamboat.
Love it. Okay, Hawxy, your number one of underrated wrestlers is...
Mick Foley.
Okay.
I think they... I've had this conversation before. He needs to be like in like GOAT conversation, and he never is with anybody, ever. Everyone talks about the Stone Colds and the Rocks and the fucking Hogans and whoever else it might be, Triple H's and the Takers and things like that. No one ever talks about Mick Foley. He's one of the best to ever do it. One of the best on the mic. He's had memorable spots. He's had memorable feuds. He's had memorable matches. He done it in WCW. He done it in Japan. He done it in ECW. He done it in the WWF. Like, oh, we need to get Katajaki, and like, oh yeah, okay then, Jim, I'll let you bring him in, and just so you know what it's like to get your heart broken. Like, he become one of the biggest guys. He won the championship. A couple of times. He's tag team champion. He was always in massive feuds, and no one ever. Amazing promo, unbelievable promo. Like, just mind for the business. Everything you need to say. No one fucking talks about Mick Foley. And they really should. He is a top 10 guy, I think, now.
Yeah.
He really is. And no one speaks about him. So for that reason, he was like I said, one or two the whole time I was making this list. I've changed it
Interesting.
during this list. No one gives him his flowers, and they really should. He's one of the best to ever do it. No one speaks about him.
Interesting. That's a phenomenal shout.
For me, that's the epitome of being underrated, right? Being one of the best ever, but no one appreciates it. He should be. Everyone should be speaking about Mick Foley and how good he is.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Right, over to my number one. It's not Mick Foley,
Yeah.
so we're not the same here. It's the first time in a while we haven't been the same number one.
Yeah.
Now, my number one's going to raise a few eyebrows, I think, because this particular person is probably synonymous with one of the best and well-known stables in wrestling history. If I go like that,
Yeah.
we're going to go with JJ Dillon. You remember the Four Horsemen, right? Suits, promos, dominance, but behind all the swagger and all the bravado, there was one man pulling the strings, not like shouting and screaming, but really quietly, and that was JJ Dillon. He was the guy standing behind Ric Flair. You think Four Horsemen, you ultimately think Ric Flair, right?
Yes.
You ultimately think Arn Anderson.
Arn
You ultimately
Anderson.
think Tully.
Yeah.
You don't really think of JJ, in my opinion. Give me a second. There's maybe issues.
I think we're
Let's
okay.
try and reconnect. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
That's fine. Perfect. Yeah. So JJ Dillon, he was their strategist. He was their spokesman. Like obviously instead of like Ric Flair was obviously the promo, but he was their guy. He was their enforcer, but he didn't throw a punch. Right? He was a legit badass because he was a legitimate in-ring wrestler. You think about the Florida territory, Texas, Northeast. He knew how to draw money, and then when he went into management, he thought like a worker, right, like a booker, and that's how. Yeah, he didn't overshadow the talent. He just made sure the horsemen had every advantage, be it fairly or unfairly, and it was like they were just doing business, just simply doing business, and that's what made the Four Horsemen really, really powerful. After the Horsemen, he went and worked in WCW management. He was in WWF's front office during the Attitude Era, the early Attitude Era. He was talent relations. He was involved in creative, in contracts. There's a quote, and I can't remember who did it. I didn't write it down. If wrestling were a machine, JJ was one of the mechanics making sure the engine kept running smoothly. I think that's a great fucking quote for that. And I think he's underappreciated because he wasn't the loud voice of the Four Horsemen. He wasn't dramatic. He didn't take the spotlight. He elevated Ric Flair. He elevated Tully Blanchard. He elevated fucking Arn Anderson. He basically set the table for them. So, and that's the mark of a great manager. If you think of the managers nowadays, Paul Heyman, Don Callis, Prince Nana, that was the blueprint that JJ Dillon created. So yeah, he's my number one underrated guy.
I don't even know where to start with that. I think that's probably the ultimate shaky moment. Like,
Told
to
you.
have him as
Raised
number
eyebrows.
one, not necessarily like the honourable mention. That's crazy. Like, I can't argue with you because you've put it over so eloquently for a start, and you've sort of done what you've done. But I would never have. I could have gone through 1,000 names, and JJ Dillon would not have got on this list. That's absolutely boggled my mind.
Who did you think when you had
I thought you were going to say Arn.
Arn.
I genuinely thought you were going to say Arn because Arn was on my wider list. Like, no one, like I said, it's crazy how we've interpreted this list in two completely different ways. We've got one person on there?
Taz?
One person the same as Taz? Like, it's crazy how we've gone through all of that, and it's been that fucking different. Like I said, we've interpreted it in two different ways. We haven't had a list this different
In a long
for
time.
ages. For ages.
I think it's testament to the topic, right? Because if you think of the tippity top guys throughout history, there's maybe been 10 tippity top guys.
Yeah,
So
I get what you mean.
everybody else underneath could be classified as underappreciated or
underrated.
underutilized or whatever.
Yeah. I
like to throw a swerve in their Hawks.
that JJ Dillon is a big swerve. I did not see that booking. Not at all. Did not see that booking at all. So yeah, fair play. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. So I'm just gonna you just fair play. Fair play. I've genuinely enjoyed this. I've enjoyed thinking about it. And I've like fucking Bossman was one of the last names that I took off of this as well. It was a toss up between basically sort of Bossman, Abyss, and Ricky really for my honorable mention. Like, just there's so many. Like I said, I was sorting this out today, and I was like, oh shit, like, oh no, like what do I do? So this could have been a big list, and we could have had a real good chat about this. So yeah, that's good
Could
fun,
have been a
mate.
top 20 list.
I dropped my pen, but yeah,
Could
really
have been
good
a top
fun.
20.
Yeah, easily.
So yeah, there's our top 10 underrated characters, underrated wrestlers within the wrestling business. Very different. Let us know what you think. As ever, we plugged all the socials before. Just check out moo10.com. We want to get as much traffic in there as possible. Leave us a voicemail, leave us a comment. All the socials, as you're fully aware, they'll be in the descriptions and stuff. We'll add them in there. Next week, Hawxy, what are we doing next week?
We are touching on the death counter in the stream. We're going to do the top 10 how the fuck are you still alive moments, basically. Like OMGs. Well, I don't even know what did we say we were going to call it. How did we say we were going to frame it?
Top 10. How did they survive?
How did they survive that moment?
Just so we don't get screwed in the algorithm because of the fuck bomb.
So the fucking holy shit they did moment. So yeah, this is going to take up a lot of ground, and it's going to be crazy.
I've already got 3 in my head. Just
yeah. I think 3 of them were from the fucking TLC match the other day as well. So
pretty much.
So it's fucking nuts. Yeah, shit.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode, guys. It's been great fun to do. We're back in the flow of it again. We are doing interviews as well. It's going to be in a couple of weeks' time. There's been circumstances that's dictated this, but we have got that booked in, and we are going to start reaching out to people to get them booked in as well. But from me, Shieldz, have a very nice evening.
I'm from Hawxy. Love you. Bye.
Light flicker, shadows fall. Hawxy screaming down the hall. Shieldz got fire in his veins. Calls it out, no time for games.